Is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. What a difference with the storms going through. Lots of sunshine now. BGE Home, Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? The storms going through. Temperature didn't drop very much. 84 degrees. Humidity stayed up as well at 67%. And right now, very little breeze. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Rays. It'll be Smith, Dickerson, and Longoria, Morrison, Souza Jr., and Ramos, Peterson, Hechavarria, and Featherston is going to make the start at second base in this game as Beckham is out with an ankle problem and went out late in the ballgame. Souza, career at Camden Yards, loves it here.
And let's take a look at Dylan Bundy's scouting report. Back it up. Wow, did he have a great outing in his last start against the Rays over the weekend. 7 strong innings, scattering the 5 hits. Had 8 Ks, tying a season high. Really, it all stemmed from the fastball command. He was able to locate the heater wherever he wanted, in and out. Played the nice cutter slider off the fastball and the change as well. And he has been the O's quality starter for sure. 12 quality starts in the 16 outings this season. 8 wins on the year for Dylan Bundy. Pitching to a 3.73. 99 innings of work for Bundy, scattering the 88 hits with 73 punch-outs. Opponents hitting 245 off Bundy, but he has given up the 15 home runs this year in his last outing. Yeah, he had a gem, 7 strong innings, but he did give up 2 home runs to the Rays in his career, giving up 9 home runs. So keep it down, Dylan.
So for Dylan Bundy, it'll be his 4th career start, 5th appearance against the Rays. 1-1, ERA of 5.4. Those 9 home runs he's allowed to Tampa Bay, more than any other team he has faced. Tampa Bay's had more home runs off him. So we'll see what happens in this one. After about an hour's rain delay here, we'll get an official after the first pitch is thrown. Dylan Bundy. Malik Smith will be leading it off, their center fielder. Remember, Tampa Bay is making this run and having this good season right now without their great center fielder Kevin Kiermaier. The delivery, we're underway, dropped the bunt, and it goes foul. The speedster trying to get on. You maybe use that grass that's a little bit wet and slow it down.
Absolutely. Kiermaier broke his hip actually sliding feet first into first base and really jammed it up bad enough obviously to do that kind of damage. But calling up this young man, Smith, good speed, 9 stolen bases on the year, is really filled in nicely.
Hour and 12-minute rain delay for our Saturday afternoon game. Dylan Bundy with a 1-ball 1-strike count. Dylan with the 1-0 this year, 3.38 against Tampa Bay. 3rd start. Pitch swung on and missed. Really had him fooled by the off-speed delivery right there.
Yeah, great change. The 4-seam change up here. How about the arm cell? Everything looked the same out of the hands. Looks like that power fastball turns it over a little bit on the end to get that movement. How about the location? Just spotted up down and away.
Smith will take the pitch away. It's a hot bat at the plate. He's hitting 372 over the last dozen ball games. Had a very fine month of June. 319, played in 19 ball games for Tampa Bay. 2-2 delivery on the way, and he starts this one out with a base hit right up the middle.
Oh, little chuck and duck right there. Dylan Bundy. Smith just putting the head on it. Take a look at the O's defense behind Bundy this afternoon. Rickard Jones and Gentry roaming the outfield. Todd and Scope will be turning 2 up the middle. Machado and Mancini on the corners once again, and Castillo doing the catching this afternoon.
That will bring up Corey Dickerson, one of the league leaders in lots of offensive categories. Orioles held him to an 0 for 4 in the ball game last night, and he is 0 for his last 10 to the plate. Still ranked 3rd in the league in average at 326. Altuve's taken over the lead at 330, followed by Judge at 326. And the pitch to him is put up in the air to center. High sky. That'll be back near the warning track and handled by Jones. Dickerson retired. Back to first goes Smith.
Nice play right there by Adam Jones. Yeah, routine fly ball. But the awareness, right? The court awareness, knowing that Smith has the great speed. Ball goes up in the air. Smith right back to first base for the tag. Take a look. It'll be nice here. So he checks to look at the fly ball. It's not a home run. Gets back to first base, but Jones knows. See him set up right there. Get the momentum built towards the bag. And how about one hop right to Scope? Perfect throw by Adam Jones.
Yeah. One hop. Come on. Come on.
Go ahead.
That's it.
Test me out. I love it.
Smith does get a big lead over there. He did in the times he was on last night. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. Longoria. Longoria had a 2 for 5 in the ball game last night. He's had pretty good luck against Bundy. 4 for 11, and 2 of the 4 hits have been home runs. Had hits in 8 of the last 10 for Longoria. There's the concern of keeping Smith close at first base. Base stealers have gone 3 for 6 against Dylan Bundy this year. He gets great help behind the plate. Wellington Castillo throwing out 48% of base runners. Runner goes. Big jump right through the gap. Great hit and run. Turn's going to be made. Will they wave him home? They are. Here comes Smith trying to score from first, and he does. And the speed pays off early on a hit and run base hit. Longoria put it right where Jonathan Scope had vacated, and he applauds Smith, who scores from first.
Oh my goodness. Wow, almost actually hit Smith, but he never really broke stride. Avoids the baseball. Third base coach saying, get on your horse. All the way from first base. Nice piece of hitting there by Evan Longoria. He picks up the baseball just in the nick of time. Quick look in after he hears the contact, and Jones another shot at throwing him out, but this time no chance. Take a look. Woo. Nifty footwork right there. And he is long striding.
Charlie Montoyo, third base coach, waited to see if the Oriole outfielders are going to end up getting together on that, and they kind of did, and there was just a little hesitation in picking that up, and that was enough. So Longoria picks up the RBI. That's his 9th RBI against the Orioles this season. In this, the 8th game these two teams have played. So the Rays jump out to a 1-0 lead on the RBI by their leader Evan Longoria. Here's Morrison, an 0 for 3 in the ball game last night. Logan Morrison shift on against him. Pitch will be taken up high.
And the shadows starting to creep onto the field now, making it a little bit tougher. Doesn't seem to be causing any problems actually for the Rays here in the early going. A couple hits start the ball game off.
Just the 4th run allowed by Dylan Bundy in the first inning of ball games this year. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way. That one whacked to center field. That's hit pretty good. Adam Jones back and looking. Goodbye home run. All the way to the batter's eye. And Morrison picks up a 2-run homer, and the Rays have jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Number 23 in the home run department for Logan Morrison, and he's got 56 RBIs.
Wow. Impressive swing right there. Staying back. Looked like a changeup he was able to get to. Reaching out with the plate coverage. Ball elevated just enough for him to square up into the bat path. Staying behind the baseball and smoked it straight away center field.
He has been driving it a lot this year. Morrison now tied, no longer tied. He's 3rd behind Judge and Springer in home runs. He's got 23, and his 54 RBIs, 4th best in the league. So Dylan Bundy, a very tough first inning. 4 batters up, and 3 of them have scored. His ERA coming in 3.73, almost reaching that here in the first inning. 1-0 count. Shift on the other way in the infield, and a breaking ball to Souza Jr. misses down low. The hero last night, Steven Souza Jr., but had just singles over 6 consecutive ball games, and not many of those. Broke out of it with the extra inning home run to win it. 3-run shot. He will foul that one off the fists and back out of play. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Now, this is a highly offensive team. We've talked about the numbers they have put up this season. They are at the top of the pile in almost every offensive category. They've moved up in the home run department. The one last night and the one today. That one's lifted down the line. That's going to fall in. Souza will make the turn. Rickards got to play it off the wall, and it is a double for Souza, and Tampa Bay here in the first inning not being fooled.
Wow, they are coming out swinging. My goodness. Well, we knew Dylan Bundy was having some problems with giving up the long ball, but this is a matchup of home run problems here. Jake Odorizzi, Dylan Bundy, now 11 consecutive games allowing a home run. Odorizzi as well. Of course, he hasn't had his chance to face the Orioles, but yeah, both had rough Junes. Bundy gave up 7 home runs in June, and July starting out the same way.
Yeah, the ERA really jumped on Dylan. His ERA in June was 5.93. He started with a 1.65 in April, a 3.92 in May, and a 5.93 in June. Runner on at second base, 4 hits already on the board. Here's Ramos, who had a home run in the ball game last night, good for 2 RBIs. His first home run of the year and just his 4th game back, coming off the DL and doing the catching. Ramos 0 for 5 lifetime against Bundy. The home run picked up by Logan Morrison was the first he's had against Bundy in his career. 0-1 the count. Souza getting off second base. Fakes the go. That's off the fists and back.
Nice fastball there. Riding hard up and in. The last 2 pitches, Castillo wanting that fastball inside. Dylan Bundy, he knows he's got to start moving some feet, making these hitters a little bit more uncomfortable right now. Be more aggressive inside and help that outside corner.
0-2 the count. Scope holding the runner at second base, and the step off. Dylan coming in, it allowed just the 3 runs and no home runs in the first innings of ball games prior to today. So those numbers being eclipsed here in the first inning of this game 2 against the Rays. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way and fouled off at the plate. Ramos keeps his at bat alive. So beginning here in July, Tampa Bay finishes up 500 in June, 13-13. The Orioles went 12-16 in the month of June. Kevin Cash's ball club. A lot of changes. We said last night, over the last couple of weeks, they've changed 7 different positions on the roster. 7 out of 25. It's a lot of people moving around, and they weren't just for a day. They were more or less permanent. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way, and that's up.
I think that's what he's been trying to do here, getting ahead 0-2 and still unable to really drive that fastball in. Got away with one the pitch before, but making sure riding that one well up and out of the strike zone on that inner third.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Look back, Scope moves in at second. 1-2 delivery on the way. How did he hit that? He wasn't going to swing. The pitch was by him, and he still fouled it off.
Yeah, no leak there with the body. And you get your foot down, take a look. Stayed back. Mistake by Bundy there. Castillo wanting the slider on the outside corner. Stayed in the middle of the plate. Almost picking up a knock.
1-2. RBI chance for him. They went 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position last night. 1-2 delivery, and nope. Wanted a call, didn't get it.
Now, best fastball of the game here. He wanted it, but did not get it. Take a look at the Mercedes pitch cast. Nice little 2-seam fastball working back, 94 miles an hour. Look at that action. Pitching the dish, all over the dish. The question about the height, what the pitch cast shows, all in the box.
And that's going to miss down low. Larry Vanover, the home plate umpire, veteran, and is the crew chief here. Not a great lean towards hitter's advantage, but if there is one on the strike calls, that's where it goes. Dylan Bundy piling up the pitches here. 22 to record 1 out. 3-2 count. Pitch on the way. Another one fouled off. So this Tampa Bay team really working Bundy here in the first inning.
They sure are, and Dylan Bundy having a little problem commanding that fastball. Another one working back over the inside corner. Castillo wanting it away. He's going to make the in the inning adjustment here with the heater.
Ramos. 3-2. And he'll foul another one off the other way. So the count stays 3 balls, 2 strikes, and we're going to have a 10th pitch in this at bat.
Yeah, they've had some good ones. Nobody trying to do really too much. Staying to the middle of the field. Certainly the key. A successful offense. Look at all those pitches thrown to Ramos all over the place. In, up, out, down.
5th game back for the Tampa Bay catcher. 3-2 delivery again. Ramos swings and misses and gets it. So Bundy wins that battle and gets his first strikeout.
Well, he had to work for it. Comes up with a great pitch. Changeup on the outside corner. Brings it back just enough to get the call. Nice swing there. Ooh. Beautiful pitch. 10th pitch. That at bat for Bundy. Great location. Well out in front.
That'll bring Peterson to the plate. Shane Peterson came on last night in one of the most important at bats of the game. In the 9th inning, got a 2-out walk. He would end up coming around to score in a balk, a wild pitch, and an RBI single. Echeverria brought him home, and then of course the home run by Souza in the 10th to win it, the 3-run shot. Peterson 0 for 4 off Bundy. Gets the start in left field, his 5th start in left field. Big lead at second base. And the pitch way up high. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Yeah, 2 outs. Souza Jr. really extending the primary lead, and then real aggressive on the secondary. He knows the importance of these runs against the Orioles. Orioles play their best baseball here at Camden Yards. The offense has been putting up good numbers against the Rays.
Delivery on the way up high. Dillon missing up again. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Peterson has had only a couple hits against the Orioles this year, 2 for 13. One of those, though, was a home run. The only home run he has lifetime against the Orioles. 2-1 delivery on the way to him, and that's up high. So 3 in a row, way up, and that brings Wellington Castillo out to the front of the plate. He follows through in the throw back to the mound, saying to Dillon, get that shoulder down.
Yeah, shoulders flying, saying, come on, bring it to me. You know, it's funny because Jake Odorizzi's had some problems here recently, and he's talking about adjusting his mechanics and just driving more towards the catcher instead of spinning off a little bit.
He does follow through there and gets the pitch in for a strike. Three ball, 2 strike count. 3 runs in. Souza's on at second base. Bundy's delivery to Peterson, and he gets him on a strikeout. So 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 left in scoring position, and an early 3-0 lead. See this one. Orioles lineup brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Rickert, Machado, and Scope. Jones, Trumbo, and Mancini. Castillo, Gentry, and Tejada. Joey Rickert with a tremendous game last night and very fine numbers for the last 5.
Yeah, let's take a look at Jake Odorizzi's scouting report. Yeah, he likes to change eye levels, work that fastball to the top of the zone. Nice little split finger as well, and he'll pound the bottom of the zone with. Orioles got to pick one and stay on him because he can make mistakes because he's streaking in the wrong way. 11 consecutive appearances, giving up a home run. His last 2 home runs given up to the Orioles, Caleb Joseph and Mancini, and he has had some problems here at Camden Yards. Yeah, Oriole Park giving him some nightmares. 12 home runs given up here with a 6.32 earned run average, and the numbers on the year.
Pitch will be taken for a strike. Joey Rickert moves from 9 to 1 in the order.
It's the opponent's hitting .238, but the 17 home runs given up. Big number.
Rickert with the 0-1 delivery will put it up in the air to right field. Playing very shallow with Souza. He's called off by Smith, and the center fielder comes over to put it away.
Take a look at the Rays defense. See Peterson or Smith calling off Souza Jr. there. Peterson over in left field. Echeverria at shortstop. Featherston getting the start at second base. Longoria and Morrison will be on the corners, and Ramos behind the dish.
1 down on a couple of pitches. That'll bring Manny Machado to the plate. The 0 for last night extended his 0 for to 16. 0 for his last 16, but he's had good numbers against Odorizzi. Let's see whether or not that'll get him out of the 0 for and the .286 lifetime average against him. Pitch on the way. Manny will take it inside for a ball. The home runs Odorizzi has given up. They've been all over the place to every field. Players have just taken his pitches and driven them. 11 straight appearances in which he has given up a home run. And that ties a club record for most consecutive games a pitcher surrendering a long ball. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Machado on the end of the bat. Second base maybe. Featherston over. 2 down. Well, our Maryland Lottery contestant of the game. Mary's on hand on a ball game where the Orioles should be able to pick up a home runs. So Mary Clove from Baltimore, good luck. 500 for being selected. 500 more for every Orioles home run hit. Play Home Run Rich's scratch-offs, win up to $50,000. Enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Go to mdlottery.com/home run. Good luck, Mayor. 5 pitches, 2 outs for Odorizzi. That's really not where he has been. His pitch count over the past couple of years has continually climbed. 4.27 pitches per batter since the start of last year, the most in the majors. Foul back, but he's come out here throwing strikes early.
Yeah, well, I think on the other side, the Orioles have just come out swinging. You think there might be a little more patience up there with the track record that Odorizzi has, but he likes to try to get ahead as well. So they are coming out swinging the bats.
Up and in. Mike was talking about the mechanics. Kevin Cash said what we're working on with him since the last start against the Orioles. He's opening up and flying off on that delivery with that shoulder. So he tried to get that closed. 2-1 delivery on the way, and that's going to miss up and in too.
Now we see it time and time again. A pitcher tries to overthrow a little bit, and that front side pulls out. Now, there are pitchers that can have some success doing that, but you just won't be as consistent, and that's what Odorizzi's finding.
3-1 delivery. Jonathan will follow back. Scope with a big .318 lifetime average against the 27-year-old right-hander. And Jonathan, of course, continued on a very solid first half of the season, and no reason to believe that won't continue into the second half. Scope ended up with a .327 batting average in June. 3-2 delivery is foul. The Oriole hitters in June who went over 300 among the regulars. Caleb Joseph played enough, .333. Mancini hit .340. He had the highest average in June. And then Jonathan Scope at .327. They were the 3 Orioles to hit 300 or better for the month. 3-2 delivery again. Hack back.
Yeah, it's one thing to be hitting over 300, but they're doing it with some damage too. You know, Mancini and Scope both big power numbers. Scope 8 home runs in the month of June. That's impressive.
3 ball, 2 strike count. Odorizzi's delivery will be lifted in the air towards the seats again. And far enough back so there's no play. So Jonathan hanging in, making him work a little bit here. Orioles come in 4-3 against Tampa Bay on the year. They are 2-2 in games against Tampa Bay here in Baltimore. Third time, and the 3-2 delivery, and this one up in the air to left field. Center fielder wants it. Smith, he covered right, he covered left, and he covered center all in one inning. Not bad.
Ball hog.
Traffic cop. Second inning, and he hopes it's better than the first.
Hey, yeah, right. Dylan Bundy really good in first innings. Typically only 3 earned runs allowed, but today he's given up 3 with a home run already.
Echeverria will stand in. What a night he had. 4 for 4 in the ball game last night, including an RBI that tied his career high in hits in a ball game. He's gone 8 for 14 in 4 games in Tampa Bay. Swing and a miss, taking over the job at shortstop. So Echeverria off to a flying start with the Rays.
Yes, he is.
Featherston, top of the order. Smith due up in the inning. Bundy will come inside. Dillon looking for obviously a much quicker inning here. 18 wins, 12 losses in his young career. And a good heater at 93.
Yeah, it took him a while to get that fastball command in the first inning. Ended up cleaning it up with a couple punch outs to Ramos and Peterson. Right now looking pretty good.
2-2. Reach for. Well, we told you Tampa Bay coming in. They are 5th in runs. They're 2nd in home runs in the league. They have had great offense, good starting pitching, real good. 2nd in the league in ERA. Bullpen is 10th. So they've had the hits and the starts to give them a 42-40 record. Again inside, backs him off. And the count goes 3-2.
Yeah, I really think he wanted to do that a couple times last inning. He couldn't get it in there.
Full count delivery on the way. Echeverria will go down swinging. That's 3 Ks for Dillon in a row.
Changeup looking good for Dylan Bundy. Real nice pitch. Falls behind. 3-2 count again. And then pulls the string 84 miles an hour. And look at it drop right on the plate, though. That is the key to that pitch. 3-2 count. Looks like it's going to be a belt high fastball. No, the Bundy change.
Featherston stands in. His start at second base is the 5th of the year for him at that position. Taylor Featherston will be followed by Smith at the top of the order, facing Dylan Bundy for the first time. The 0-1 jammed him, popped him up back into the seats. Showalter, Bobby Dickerson.
Got to be talking about some positioning here. What it would be.
Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way. Featherston in the starts made, and he's had 7 of them now. He's gone 6 for 19 in games in which he has started for the Rays. 1-2 delivery, and got him to go after one away. 4 strikeouts in a row.
A beautiful pitch. Dylan Bundy's cutter. Sometimes it can get a little sliderish. That one working more lateral. Threw it hard, 86 miles an hour. It started on the plate. See where it ended up. 8 to 10 inches off. Nice pitch.
It'll bring Malik Smith to the plate. He had a single and scored in the first inning. Longoria's RBI base hit brought him home. Then Longoria scored on the 2-run homer by Morrison. Manny Machado moves in at third. He tried to bunt his way on the first time up. Tries it again, drags it, and he pulled it a little too far into foul territory. It's almost guaranteed to try a bunt every time he comes to the plate.
Oh yeah, definitely. Why not, right? Because the benefit is, even if you miss it or foul it off, the infield starts anticipating it. They start moving in a little bit. I think even Jonathan Scope's going to shorten up, and that makes a smaller field, more opportunities to get a base hit.
Smith has had only a couple of hits in his last 18 at bats. He too had been on a roller coaster. He had a 12-game hit streak prior to the 2 for 18. You see the sac bunts and the bunt hits so far for him. That's a lot for a player who hasn't had that many at bats. He will take the pitch inside.
Well, what gets me is, and nowadays you don't see these type of players where everybody knows you're going to bunt. You still have the ability to get it down and actually execute it for a base hit. This doesn't happen. You remember Brett Butler? Everybody used to play it, but he still used to lay the bunts down and get knocks.
That is in there for a strike. So that'll back the infield up as the count goes to 1-2. Bundy trying to strike the side out. 1-2, 2 down. Rays up 3-zip. And inside. So the count will go to 2-2.
Nice try there, Dylan Bundy. That call on the inside corner. Why not take it right back in an inch or two further?
Orioles 24-year-old right-hander looking for win number 9. 2-2 delivery on the way, and that's outside. Dylan here at home in his young career has done very well. Here at Camden Yards, he's 17-9 and an ERA of 2.5 in the ball games he has pitched in his home ballpark. 3-2 delivery. Got it in and into the seats, foul.
Some good pitches in there. Working that inside corner right now. Looking good with the fastball. Obviously made the adjustments after a slow start in the first inning.
Another 3-2 count. And he gets him. So 5 strikeouts. They come in a row. Final 2 outs in the first inning, and strikes out the side in the second. Run the Bases, presented by Weiss Markets. You can watch your kids' big league dreams come true. The ages 4 to 14, they get to run the bases after the ball game tomorrow afternoon. For tickets, go to Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Gary Thorne, Mike Bordick with you. Young man has been here, pretty well sugared up, got the glove ready to go. A couple of hot dogs, soda, candy.
He's
Cotton
hot.
candy. He's ready to roll, and he's hot. It's hot here. I'm going to get another drink. Nick Odorizzi talked about problems he's had against the Orioles overall. Odorizzi has had a lot of problems here in this ballpark that Mike was mentioning. How about this one? Keep that hat on. Oh, there we go. How cute. And the pitch is taken up high for a ball. About $500,000 will take care of that young person's college education. So start putting that money away.
Oh, come on, man. Why ruin a good thing?
It's responsible parenthood, right? First base and a lot of sun. Almost on the bag. Caught by Morris, and Jones is retired. One away.
Wow. A lot of pop-ups right now.
Odorizzi gets the out. Trumbo coming up. Bright sunshine after very dark thunderstorm clouds went through. Mark is at a 6 for 20 off Odorizzi in his career. Home run last night, 2 for 4, picking up the dinger late.
Yeah, beautiful swing. How about 8 for 12? Are you kidding me? 2 home runs, 5 RBI in extra innings for the O's this season. He did it again in last night's ball game.
A little late on a heater, fouled away. Odorizzi in this ballpark, he has his 3rd worst ERA. It's 6.3 lifetime at Camden Yards. 1-3 is his record here. He's given up 12 home runs. And that's more home runs than he's given up in any other opposing ballpark. Well, the Orioles hope that will continue here today.
I think that's what they were trying to do, or have been. First inning, now into this inning. 4 straight pop-ups.
Little zip on that in 93 inside. Trumbo, designated hitter. 4 RBIs picked up against the Rays so far this year. Down to 3rd and foul. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Zach Britton is here, having completed minor league rehab starts for the moment. He's ready to come back.
The Orioles are ready to have him back. Yep. That's for sure.
2-2 delivery on the way. He showed up because it is his bobblehead day after all. You got to be at the ballpark when your bobblehead's being given out. There they are right there. Zach Britton bobblehead day.
Come on, Zach, give us a little bobble.
Looks just like him.
No, not bobbling.
3 ball, 2 strike pitch on the way, and he walked him. First base runner for the Orioles.
Well, Trey Mancini, highest batting average in the month of June. Yeah, he'd love to carry it over here, but 340. Pretty impressive stuff by the rookie. The rookie's doing pretty well in the month of June. The Orioles lucky to have boom boom Mancini.
Runner on at first with 1 down. 0 for 4 in the ball game last night. 1 for 3 with a home run off Odorizzi. Infield double play depth. That one froze him, and it's in there for a strike.
Now Mancini got Odorizzi last weekend. Solo shot. Odorizzi gave up a couple home runs in that ball game.
7 home runs and 19 RBIs in June. Trey Mancini. Foul back into the screen. 0-2 with 1 down. Under consideration for the All-Star game. Saw his dad's here today again. Watching Trey play. Said they were planning a vacation for the All-Star break, and I said you better put Miami in as part of the vacation. I think he's got a pretty good shot of being selected 0-2 pitch on the way, bounced it. Ramos just getting the body in front of that one. And Odorizzi 1-2. Castillo to follow.
And Trey Mancini definitely has been consistent for the Orioles.
But for Aaron Judge, as we've mentioned, he'd be a rookie leader in a lot of categories. That one he really turned on and fouled it off. Makes waves to the guys on the bench. Didn't mean to do that. How about those socks over there?
Yeah.
Huh? We talked about high socks.
Got the stars on the right leg, stripes over on the left.
Wow.
Nice July 4th weekend unis.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Mancini. Trey reaching a bit back into the screen, but jumping on it.
Yeah, you're opposing Odorizzi. You better start your swing at the top of the strike zone. He does not mind throwing his fastball up there. Seen it time and time again. Got 3 pitches up at the top of the zone.
One and 2, runner off first base, Trumbo, and that's going to be outside. Count goes to 2-2. It's been one of the real strengths for Trey Mancini, arriving at the major league level with a very good knowledge of the strike zone. Just doesn't chase. You really have to put the ball in, and when you do, he makes contact. Trumbo off first base, 2-2. And held up. Did not go.
What a take right there. It looked like he was swinging the whole way, didn't it? The slow breaking ball from Odorizzi. That gets him off balance a little bit. You don't typically see that. Oh, he was ready to pull the trigger, but right there, the reason why. Leading with the hands keeps the bat head back. Able to stop the swing.
A lot of 3-2 counts for both pitchers early. Delivery here to Mancini, went after 1 up. Odorizzi will get his first strikeout, 2 down.
There you go. Changing the eye levels. Gets him thinking down with the breaking ball and then rises the heater right back to the top. In and out of the zone. For strike 3.
Trumbo remains at first. Odorizzi's had 65 strikeouts in 75 innings. Has surrendered 26 free passes. About a 3-to-1 ratio. Strikeouts to walks. Steele will take the pitch for a strike. 0 for 4 in the ballgame last night. 0 for 12 overall for Wellington Castillo. Finished up with an injury plagued month of June, hitting just 175 in 16 games. He had a 314 April and a 320 May. But certainly the physical problems didn't help the cause in June.
No, you got that right. A couple stints on the DL. He's been banged up a little bit. And of course the workload recently and some of the outings the pitchers have had. I mean, the catchers have just been all over the place back there.
0-2 delivery, pulled it back down to no avail. And the count goes to 1-2. Castillo to be followed by Gentry if he can keep the inning alive. Wellington has a .225 lifetime average against Tampa Bay with 1 career home run. 1-2 delivery over the screen. But Showalter search for an explanation in these type of games. Why are there so many foul balls? Ball game last night where there are hardly any. Already in this ball game for both pitchers. Foul balls all over the place.
Yeah. All right.
And Buck's tried to figure out why that happens, and there's no real good answer to that. Here's the 1-2 by Odorizzi. That's going to go to third, knock down Longoria, and not going to have a play. So Castillo is on a sharply hit ball. Longoria couldn't handle.
Yeah, pretty nice play actually, just to get the glove on it. Yeah, line drive, 1 hopper, and it looked like he was going to come down with it. But take a look at this second effort here. So tries to get the short hop. If he gets that, Castillo's going to be out. That's what he was targeting. keep it in the infield, take the chance at the bare hand, but cannot get the handle on the baseball. A whiff with the grab.
So a base hit will get Wellington out of the 0 for 12. Now an RBI chance. Gentry making the start in right field. Odorizzi's delivery to him will be away for a ball. Craig Gentry, 43rd game. He's only had 48 at bats, 1 home run, 4 RBIs. .1-0 delivery by Odorizzi will be fouled away. Orioles went 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position last night. Not a lot of chances for the Orioles. They left only 1 on base. Tampa Bay won it by a score of 6-4. The Orioles had 5 hits. Tampa Bay 10. One and one. Trumbo off second. Castillo off first. And up again.
It was a disheartening game last night, obviously, but when you look at the numbers, it was really a game where you're like, wow, surprisingly that they even had a chance to win that game with the lack of offense.
Yeah, they took advantage of about every opportunity they had. But Souza Jr. with that home run, extra innings, won it. 2-1 delivery the other way, foul. Gentry's had 13 starts for the Orioles this year. He's out there in right field. One of the reasons he carries a .270 lifetime batting average against Tampa Bay. Buck Showalter takes a look at all of those kinds of numbers and deciding who gets a start where, while at the same time trying to make sure everybody gets at bats and games in. 2-2 delivery to him, will miss, and here we go again, 3-2.
3-2 counts, and for a quick first inning of hacking by the Orioles, showing a lot of patience here in the second inning, getting his pitch count right back up there.
Trumbo and Castillo will go. There they are. StatCast powered by AWS. 3-2, 2 down. Another souvenir. Odorizzi trying to find an out pitch here. He couldn't do it against Trumbo, drew the walk. Got Mancini on the strikeout. And now another 3-2 on Castillo.
And Gentry working the 3-2 count. Take a look at the outfield, how shortened up they are. Of course, the runners are going to be going. They want to try to cut down that run. Obviously, don't think Gentry can hit it over their heads.
3-2 delivery on the way. Runner goes, and a base hit up the middle. Trumbo will come around to score. Played by Smith. An RBI single by Gentry. A 2-out RBI on a 3-2 count and a 3-1 ball game.
Wow, nice AB right there. Wouldn't you know it, the walk. He walked, going around to score. Look at the swing, staying hard to the middle. The ball dies in the outfield grass. Castillo able to hustle on into third base. Trumbo scoring from second. Hechavarria taking the deep angle, trying to keep it in the infield. Nice effort there. But the knock goes to Gentry and a stake on the board.
So the Orioles pick up their second hit of the ball game. Back-to-back singles here in the second inning. Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, has gone out. You would think after all the work they've done on mechanics with Odorizzi that maybe they're out there maybe talking a little bit about that, and also to give him a rest here in the second.
Well, you know what? The foul balls in this inning, and I don't know that it's anything to do with mechanics. He's pitching to the top of the zone, going by the book. What he does, he hasn't thrown a ton of bad balls, you know, but the Orioles really battling him right now. Gentry fouling off some pitches. Mancini had a long at bat. Trumbo, of course, the walk, 3-2 count.
So here's Ruben Tejada, first and third with 2 down. 3-1 ball game. Rays on top. Pitch taken away. Tejada getting his first look at Odorizzi after having an 0 for 3 in the ball game last night. Tejada's yet to pick up a hit against Tampa Bay. 0 for 6 this year and 0 for 9 lifetime against the Rays. Here's the 1-0 delivery on the way. This is where you wonder what a pitcher is thinking about. You got a guy at the plate who hasn't done very well, period, offensively, and you're working around trying to get him to swing at things that aren't strikes.
Well, I think Tejada has the label of being an ambusher, jumping on that first pitch fastball. So a couple cutters on the outside corner, but he just missed.
There he comes down and into him, and the count goes to 2-1.
All off speed pitches. So a couple cutters back to back that miss on the outer edge, and then right to the split finger. 2-0 splitty. Tejada out in front.
2-1, long inning for Odorizzi. Orioles get back on the board. Potential tying runs are on base. Throw over just in case Gentry has an idea about going. And a long look down to third by Tejada. Gentry 3 out of 4 stealing bases. He's the runner at first. Now Castillo getting his lead at third. Gentry's got a good lead over there. 2-1 delivery on the way.
Good fastball. Now you might see Gentry off and running. Showalter giving Tejada a shot to try to shoot that hole with Gentry at first base, and now you just want to put some pressure on the defense, create a little havoc out there on the field, and that speed Gentry has can do that.
Two and two. Runner not going and fouled off the catcher Ramos. That'll hold the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Odorizzi. Odorizzi's lifetime mark is a game above 500, 34 and 33 in his career. He went 10-6 last year. ERA of 3.69. It's jumped up about a quarter of a run per game this year. 3 and 4 lifetime against the Orioles. 2-2. Runner not going again. Hey, it's 3 and 2.
Yeah, another one. That was his 35th pitch of this inning. Now he's got 49 on the game after that quick first inning. Wow, he's on cruise control. He just matched Dylan Bundy for pitches thrown.
So this will allow Gentry to take off with 2 down. They're still holding him. 3-2 check swing went right to him. At the bag, Morrison, and that will do it. The Orioles pick up a run on a couple of hits, no errors. They leave 2 on base. Tampa Bay leading 3-1.
Hey, you got that right, and I think a big reason why that incredible start in April went 13-7 against the American League East. See the 25-19 record against the East, but all others 14 and 21. Unbelievable. The earned run average much better in the own division at 4.68, 6.75 away. But you know, you got to do the damage in the East, and the Orioles have been able to do that pretty consistently this year. Their own saving grace.
Boston leads. They won today. We'll look at that later on. They've got a 1.5 lead over the Yankees right now. Tampa Bay 4.5 out. The Orioles 6 out. And Toronto, they are now 8.5 games out. Toronto is starting to fall in last place in the East. And the pitch will be in there for a strike. Both these pitchers hitting that 50 pitch mark, or just about there, in just 2 innings. Corey Dickerson flied out his first time up, 0 for his last 11. Longoria, then Morrison, second time through the order, 3rd inning. And he was looking to crank. 0-2.
Good fastball. Fastball away, fastball in. It's all about that location. Bundy got it back at the end of the 1st inning. Carried it through the 2nd. Now looking good here.
He's had 5 strikeouts in a row, the 5 in the ball game. And he's got an 0-2 count here. Dickerson will pop it back out of play over the screen. 2 things we can just put on the loop tape. Foul ball. And 3-2.
Yeah. Ooh, common theme in this one.
Let's push the buttons. Bundy up 0-2, outfield deep. Playing him in that right field gap. And he'll foul one off the other way. Now Corey Dickerson has made himself an all-star player for the first half of this season. The great numbers that he's put up. He's leads the league in hits with 103. And he is 3rd in runs with 60. 2nd in total bases. Multi-hit games, his 33 are the most in the American League. And he's been great on the road, hitting .346, 4th highest average in the league on the road. Another one put up in the air towards the seats, and that will be a foul ball.
Replay, foul ball. Yeah. Unfortunately for Dylan Bundy, that one was a foul ball because that stayed in too much of the white. You know, getting ahead here, 0-2, trying to work the edges. But, you see that 4th pitch up middle.
Bundy again working on the 0-2 delivery. Had to wait. Off speed pitch, some 20 miles an hour less than the fastball. And Corey Dickerson, his stride was already down, but he was able to hold the bat back.
Yeah, certainly the key, that body control, the ability to keep the hands back, control the bat head. When the upper body starts drifting forward, that's when you see problems with swings. Hitters lose their balance. A lot of jam shots, swing throughs.
Here's the 7th pitch of this at bat, and that'll be down low. So Dickerson, a 1-ball 2-strike count. Only the 2nd time this season that Corey Dickerson has had consecutive games where he has not picked up a hit. That's how consistent he has been at the plate, and that's why he has those big hit numbers. 1-2. He'll put that one up in the air. Shortstop or 3rd. Tejada wants it, and he's got it. Orioles are going to be hosting the Chicago Cubs July 14 through the 16 on Sunday. The kids ages 4 to 14. That's July 16. We'll get to run the bases, presented by Weiss Markets. Tickets going fast, so don't miss out with the Cubs coming to town at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Evan Longoria picking up an RBI. His first time to the plate, and he would score. He's now had 3 hits, 6 at bats. First 2 games of this series, 48 RBIs on the year. Inside out foul.
Yeah, that was a pretty impressive RBI. A little run and hit. Smith at first base. Gets in motion. Longoria shoots the ball the other way, and the speed. He'll score all the way from first base.
The 0-1 delivery on the way to him, and that's going to be outside. Don't see a lot of that hit and run anymore. Run and hit. With the long ball being what it is. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Longoria. Evan will put that one up in the air. Tejada going back. Couple to short. And there are 2 down here in the 3rd inning. Oriole fans, when the O's score 5 runs or more, get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com with the promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. Our little young fan enjoying the day has the exact appropriate hat on. Yes, and clearly a fan of Dylan Bundy. Applauding the 2 outs. Morrison, the big home run in the 1st inning. Breaking ball. Morrison now with a couple of home runs against the Orioles this year. And with the 2 RBIs he added, he's picked up 5 runs batted in against the Orioles this season. First home run he's had in this ballpark in his career. Has only a total of 3 home runs lifetime against the Orioles anyway.
Well, for some reason this year he has found his consistency. High on base percentage, hitting the bombs.
18 home runs off Dylan Bundy. Only 7 of those hit by left-handers. 2-0 delivery on the way, working him carefully here. It'll be inside, and there's what I think is the first 3-0 count Bundy has had. And that may have something to do with the long ball first time up.
Got to be careful for sure. Not this hitter. He might be selling out 3-0 as well.
3-0 pitch on the way, and he took it. It's there. Souza's the on-deck batter. Dylan had the streak of 5 consecutive strikeouts ended with the pop-up by Dickerson to start this inning. Logan Morrison at 3-1, bases empty. Push that button. Full count.
Foul ball. Full
count. One foul ball.
A couple good pitches though there to get strikes and back into the count after Bundy fell behind 3-0. Just dotting the spot down and away. You see it, 4th and 5th pitch.
So another full count delivery. Shift on in the infield against him. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Way back, and goodbye home run. 1 hop off the warehouse wall. Logan Morrison delivers his 2nd home run of the game in 2 at-bats. That's number 24, and it is a 4-1 lead.
Boy, big ball right there. Dylan Bundy made some good pitches to get back into this count, but a mistake, obviously. 3-2. Castillo wanted down and away again, but stayed up and out over. Take a look at the pitch here. The location. 2-seam fastball, trying to get some movement down and away. Oh my goodness. Cookie coming in. Golf ball going out.
Wow. 108 off the bat. I thought for a second that might be the first regular season game home run to hit the warehouse.
Right.
That was close.
It looked like it was heading that way.
It was lifted over the flag court. Holy cow. That ball in the air to center field. Adam Jones turning way back, and Souza Jr. back-to-back home runs on top of the dugout roof. 3 home runs off Dylan Bundy in the ball game, 2 of them in the last 2 at-bats, and it's 5-1.
Wow. Souza Jr. just anticipate that pitch. Nolan Bundy's going to try to get ahead. Jumps all over it. 3rd home run by the Rays in this ball game. Souza Jr. putting one up in his own bullpen. Ooh, fastball middle. Not missed.
Number 16 and RBI number 53 for Souza Jr. And coming with 2 down after a couple of easy pop outs and 5 strikeouts. Breaking ball will be taken up high by Ramos. A strikeout victim his first time up. So Morrison's got 3 home runs against the Orioles this year, 2 of them coming today. Souza had the 3 RBI homer in the ballgame last night to win it. And he now has a couple of home runs against the Orioles this year. These are not the guys who historically have hit a lot of home runs against the Orioles. Morrison's still looking out there, probably wondering, did I hit the warehouse with that thing?
Yeah.
No, but you sure came close. 1-1 delivery on the way. Now this is the home run by Morrison. And somebody caught it, I think. Look right there, caught it. Wow. Look how close that was to hitting the wall.
Yeah. Nice play out there.
Yeah. 2-1 delivery on the way. Check swing. Did he go? Yep. Home plate umpire made that call on his own.
And a good slider. Ramos thinking about joining the club. Home run party. Getting a little aggressive. Pitch down and away.
2-2 delivery on the way. Well, with these back-to-back home runs, it is the 11th time Tampa Bay's had back-to-back home runs this season. The second time a team has had back-to-back home runs off Bundy. Morrison's 24th home run is a career high for him, and the second multi-homer game he's had this year, and the 6th of his career. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way, and Ramos fights it off. There's the gentleman in the Davis shirt looking at the baseball that was caught out there.
Huh. A lot of interest in that baseball.
Probably got a dent in it. 2-2 delivery on the way, and another one fouled off. There's a marker out there in the building where the home run was hit by Griffey Jr. That was in a batting practice situation, I think, wasn't it? For the All-Star game?
Yeah, 93.
Yeah.
Home run derby, I think, wasn't it? Or
yeah.
was it just batting
I think it was batting practice right there. He's the only one who's hit the wall on the fly with a home run. 2-2. Was it home run derby? Okay. Pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. So Bundy will get his 6th strikeout with the damage done here. Back-to-back home runs, Morrison and Souza, and the Rays lead at 5-1. Throughout the Baltimore area. Visit them in store or online at heritagedealers.com.
Now, of course, tomorrow afternoon taking on the Rays, 1:30 start, and then off to Milwaukee. And the 4th of July celebration, 2 o'clock start on Monday and 4 o'clock start on Tuesday. Wednesday night ball game before they head on to Minnesota.
So the Orioles an uphill climb. trailing in this one 5-1 and the bottom of the third inning. Joey Rickard, leadoff batter, flied out to center his first time up. Manny Machado and then Jonathan Schoop will be due up for the Orioles. And the pitch a strike call. What a night for Joey last night.
Oh yeah, offensively he was a beast, picking up his 10th multi-hit game, double with an RBI, and then how about a solo home run to go along with it.
And we'll show you defensively a little later the great catches that he made out in left field last night. 0-2 count. So Odorizzi runs to work with. Let's see if he can throw more strikes, fewer pitches. That one is another one foul back. Here's the D.
Yeah, here it is. And surprising that he's in the lineup today. How about this? Oh, feeling good. Incredible play. Had to adjust on that fly ball and then end the inning. Coming in sliding on the knees, making it look easy.
Asked Joey today at batting practice, said, "You all right? How do you feel?" And he said, "I just got a couple of bumps on my arm down the line and foul." So that was it. Said I felt fine after it, and did today. I just scraped a little bit on the arm when I ran it along the top of the rail.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Pretty lucky.
Saw Joe Girardi said on that Fowler play, the Yankees right fielder who had the tendon, patella tendon, is going to keep him out the rest of the year. There was an electrical box down there at Yankee Stadium on that right field line where he went over to make that catch, and he hit his knee on the. It wasn't padded. It was in Chicago. I mean, it wasn't padded.
Oh.
So he hit the knee on the electrical box that was sticking out from the stands and then went over into the stands. So that's why he had such super extension, according to Girardi.
My goodness.
That's another one of those things. Buck Showalter talks about it. I'm not sure anybody listens. About having somebody from Major League Baseball who has the responsibility of going around to every ballpark and making sure that everything that can be done to protect players from injuries is being done.
Yeah.
And doesn't seem to happen. I mean, they come and measure the mound and the base distances and all that kind of stuff. But really needs to be more than that, because we still see ballparks that have fencing where you catch your cleats in it in the outfield.
Sure.
Unpadded boards along the side that are very dangerous, and certainly in that play for the Yankee right fielder, real tough. Eighth pitch of this at bat. Rickard waiting on it. Odorizzi gets it in, driven towards the gap and diving and caught it. Outstanding play by Smith. Blake Smith coming over from center. He's been everywhere in the outfield so far in this ball game.
He sure is, and it's almost like just backing up Souza Jr. Souza Jr. taking the tight line to the baseball, doesn't get the glove up, but there's Smith behind him coming up with the sensational play. Joey Rickard had a nice AB going, but does not end too well. Nice defense there.
The baseball gods giveth. Defensive plays Rickard last night and taketh away.
Yeah.
Rickard's at bat and denied at least a single. Manny Machado popped out his first time up, pitch in the dirt. Manny to be followed by Jonathan Schoop. .1-0 over the top and a big cut.
Yeah, healthy cut with the split finger floating in there. He slows it down to 84. Gets Manny out in front.
4 home runs for Manny off Odorizzi. 1-1 delivery to him. It's a good pitch. Seen both pitchers come inside a little bit, willing to back guys up.
I don't know if he meant to go in there.
I don't think so. 2-1 delivery on the way.
Foul ball.
We have I've waited all week to get a piece of information in for the great Jim Henneman, the writer who covered the Orioles baseball forever, on foul balls. All week long we had games with no foul balls. Now we were going to put it in our Sunday columns for tomorrow. So this game, of course, we got 1,000 foul balls
Yeah.
going away. I think Jim's going to get an early look, though. We'll redo our Sunday columns and get Jim's idea in, because boy, does it ever fit in this game. Here's the 3-2 delivery on the way, and that one punched towards center field, and that's going to fall in. So Manny gets out of an 0 for 17 with a base hit. And in our notebook now, hear this from Jim. How about a 4 foul ball in your out rule? Adopting such a radical rule might also resolve a pet, admittedly personal peeve about these too often praised quality at bats by hitters who, quite unintentionally, manage to prolong at bats with a string of foul balls, some no more than mere tips. They draw praise for being unable to do what they are trying to do.
That's a little hard, Jim. That's hard, man. You're battling up there. The guys are throwing 95, 96.
It's an interesting idea. I mean, if a lot of things Major League Baseball is concerned with, pitchers throwing too many pitches, it would cut down on that. Game time would be cut down if 4 foul balls and you're out. They used to. The 3 strikes you're out rule has not always been a part of baseball, and foul balls used to be, in fact, counted. But Jim, kind of tongue-in-cheek, but he's had a lot of positive response. I was talking to him today about it. A lot of positive response of people saying it's not a bad idea.
Right.
Players may not feel that way.
In this game, you put a vote today and it'd be up around 95%.
Manny on with a base hit at first base. The Orioles now 3 hits, 1 down. Scope rips that one foul down the left field line. And a 1-ball 2-strike count on Jonathan. Odorizzi's walked 1, struck out 1. You're joining us late. We were late. Game delayed an hour and 12 minutes by rain. Big thunderstorms came through. Now a really nice early evening. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be up high. I mean, Odorizzi isn't exactly just rocking along here in this game.
No, not at all. Pitch count getting up there. He's going to make mistakes for sure. And the Orioles still so early in this ball game. You know, there's going to be a little push here coming back. Get some pressure on Odorizzi and the Rays.
2-ball 2-strike count. And again up. All right, push the button. 3-2. And Hickey over there, pitching coach, leaning out on the rail. This is someone they need to be effective. The second half of the season, 4-3 marks so far. 15th game start. Now you see overthrows it and ends up walking it.
Wow.
2 on, 1 out. Chris and Jill Davis are going to be hosting the Crush Homers for Hearts, benefiting the Pediatric Heart Program, University of Maryland Children's Hospital. It'll be on Thursday, July 13, right here at the park. Attendees will watch a private Orioles team workout, participate in a home run derby, and much more. To learn, go to Orioles.com/homers for hearts. So 2 on, 1 away, and Adam Jones up. Adam popped out his first time up. Second in the American League, 385 runners in scoring position. Adam takes the slider away for a ball. Adam has been number 1 or close to it in this runner in scoring position department all season. Orioles remain number 1 overall at 296. 1-0 count. Back to 80 degrees on that one.
Wow. Take a look at the RBI leaders since 1954. Adam Jones climbing up that list, only 1 behind Ken Singleton. Yeah, I don't know if he's ever going to get up to Cal Ripken, but a pretty impressive number. Mr. Consistency for sure. He's had 6 straight years with 82 RBI or more. Topped out back in 2013. Had 108 RBIs.
Playing in his 701st game here at Camden Yards. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Pitch on the way to him, and a swing and a miss. One of the better pitches Odorizzi has thrown. Ramirez in the bullpen for Tampa Bay. That's all about that pitch count. We're only in the 3rd inning, and he's got a 5-1 lead, and the bullpen's up.
Yeah, they obviously don't like what they're seeing. You know, they don't want to push them through here, especially if Mr. Jones comes up with a big knock. Those numbers: 385, couple home runs, 21 stakes with runners in scoring position.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way, and again throttle back on him. 2 strikeouts.
Oh, some nasty split fingers there. The last 2, real good. Good late movement. This one starts at the knees and dive bombing down and out of the zone. Oh, actually the change, straight change there. A good splitty type movement.
So 2 away. Here's where the Orioles have been so good. 2 out RBIs. 2 out, runner in scoring position number is an amazing 294. Almost the exact same number as their overall running in scoring position number. Pitch is taken up for a ball. Mark Trumbo. Trumbo a walk, scored in the 2nd inning. RBI picked up by Gentry on a single. And that was a 2-out base hit.
I kind of like this matchup. Mark Trumbo, one of the better high fastball hitters in the game.
Puts that one in there for a strike. 1-1. Mark has gone 6 for 20 against Odorizzi. Big situation early, 3rd inning. Runners off first and second. 1-1. Trumbo another foul.
I'm not going to give him the high fastball, the slider there. After a changeup, get into the count.
Orioles left 2 on in the 2nd inning when they got a run. They've already left 1 more on than they left on in the entire 10 innings last night when they stranded only 1. 1-2. In the dirt. Stop made. Ramos. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Sun Fields, our center and right. Balls hit out there right now in that area can be tough because that sun's coming in over the top of the stadium at a tough angle. You see the big shadow going out over first, second, and into left center. 2-2. Delivery to Trumbo. Got him. So strikeout number 3, 2 in a row here in the 3rd. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 2 are left on base. 3 complete. Baseball brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4 Toyota. What drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. With Mike Bordick, I'm Gary Thorne. Hope you all are having a great beginning to the July 4 holiday weekend. Seems like many will have Monday off. Be safe, be careful. Don't drink and drive. And enjoy the holiday. Dylan Bundy, not an enjoyable beginning for him.
Be careful with fireworks too.
Yeah. Mostly just watch them.
Yeah.
Set off by professionals. Foul back and out of play. Shane Peterson leading it off. Peterson, strikeout victim. Bundy has walked none. He has struck out 6, with 3 home runs against him. 2 by Morris and 1 by Souza. And a 5-1 lead. Pop back and out of play again. 0-2.
Making some good pitches to get ahead. But, finding the put away pitches. Keeping those foul balls at a minimum. As, both pitchers. Pitch count really getting elevated in this ball game early.
Speed delivery is going to miss outside. In the starts for Dillon this year, 16 of them. The team has gone 9-7 on the year. Off speed. Just took a little funky cut and fouled it off. So Peterson, a 1-ball 2-strike count. Bundy looking for a put away. Comes inside.
Making some good pitches right now. Nice breaking ball. A big one. 12-6 at the bottom of the zone. Peterson just kind of check swing to keep the AB going. A nice up and in fastball. Rays just battling.
And another one fouled off at the plate. Mamma mia.
Take a look at the Bundy breaking ball. Getting over the top of it. 12-6. There it is. Just a little tick. Right off the end.
And the 1-2 delivery again to him. All right, enough. Think they brought enough baseballs to this game? They'll be rubbing up some more balls with that mud. 1-2.
Man. Bundy getting a little frustrated about it out there now.
Apparently everybody at the ballpark gets a baseball today. Echeverria waiting on deck. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way. Peterson takes it inside. 2-ball 2-strike count. Peterson has really made the Oriole pitchers work last night and here. He's only had 53 at bats.
But he's had 122 foul balls in this series. Holy cow.
Jim Henneman's going, see, told you.
He would have been out a long time
These
ago.
guys would be out a long time ago, and the pitch count would be a half for each of the pitchers. And it's also resulted in this. Full counts,
right.
3-2.
Yeah. Started ahead 0-2, and here you go again.
Now let's see if he can win the battle. Bundy delivers 3-2 and a chopper.
Well, you certainly can't give in here. Keep making the good pitches.
Second time on the 3-2 delivery.
Goodness. Wow.
14th pitch of this at bat. Three-two delivery, third time.
Not fair. Bundy making some good pitches. Just keep fouling him off. Pitch count now up at 90 for Bundy.
Full count delivery to the gap. What an at bat. Adam Jones going over to get it. He's going to make the turn and try for two. Adams throw to second. Not in time. Wow. 16 pitches, and he ends up with a double to lead off the fourth inning.
Right. I think slow ball game right now. Look at all the pitches thrown. Nice piece of hitting on a changeup down and away. He's so excited. He's thinking two out of the box. Adam Jones cuts it off. But Peterson, sensing that deep angle, hustling into second base, gets himself in a scoring position here. No outs in the fourth.
7 hits on the board for the Rays. Castillo going out. If anything, just trying to settle him down. Donnie Hart in the pen. Echeverria with a chance to add to the 5-1 lead. His job now, at least get him over. I'd like to get him in, but try and get him to third with just one out. Echeverria, strikeout victim, his first time up with Miami last year. He hit 236, 3 home runs, had 38 RBIs. Full season of at bats, over 500. 0-1 delivery on the way, and that's going to be inside, and we'll move him off the plate. 28-year-old out of Cuba. He's had a pretty good early major league career. Started with Toronto, then on to Miami, and from 2013 through last year with the Marlins. 1-1 pitch to him, way up in the air, left field. Joey Rickard will move in, and he does not get the runner moved up, and there's one out. Our PNC minor league report. PNC for the achiever in you.
How about Preston Palmeiro? Last 10 games with Delmarva, raking. 341, 3 doubles, 3 home runs, 11 RBI, 6 runs scored. Yeah, just 22 years old, 7th round pick last season, putting up some impressive numbers this year. 16 doubles, 10 homers, 3 triples, 45 stakes for Palmeiro. Yeah, that's Rafael Palmeiro's son.
One down, runner at second. Taylor Featherston up. Featherston coming over from the Phillies. He is 27 years old, out of Houston, Texas. Not a lot of major league experience. Only 19 games played last year with the Phillies. 120 total major league games in his career. Only a 156 average, with only 120 major league at bats. Out of Texas Christian University, where he played college ball.
Horned Frog.
1-1 delivery on the way, and Bundy getting to go after one, up, and the count goes to 1-2. Dillon has really had to work in this ball game. Pitch count way up. The 5 runs scored, 7 hits, 3 homers. One-two count. Big lead at second for Peterson, and gets him. So strikeout number 7 for Bundy. 2 down.
Some good fastball work there. How about that? Steve setting the glove up and in. Doesn't even have to move it. I'd like to see that from Bundy.
That'll bring Smith to the plate. Malek Smith, leadoff batter, base hit, run scored, and he is struck out. Longoria, RBI single. Morrison has had 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Souza, a solo shot. Orioles RBI came from Gentry on a single in the 2nd inning. Smith taking his time getting into the batter's box with 2 down, and the runner on at second base. Goes after the first pitch, sky high, right field. Getting the angle on it, Gentry. That'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Home runs, home runs, home runs in our Major League Notebook. Take a look here. 1,101 home runs, 408 games in June. The previous record for a month had been 1,069 in 2000, so we got a new record there. Also, the average of 2.7 home runs per game during June broke the previous home run record on a per monthly basis, 2.64. That was in 2000. And in June, the Dodgers led with 53. The Mets had 50. Cody Bellinger for the Dodgers led all individuals. He had 13 home runs in June, and George Springer with Houston had 11. So the year of the home run continues.
I don't think it's going to let up either.
Nope.
Because
moonshots everywhere. Moon and sun both out same time. We had the shot of the moon with Jupiter's rings around it last night. This only the tonight's the last night you'll have a chance to see that. Doesn't happen very often, where the Jupiter and the moon line up and you actually get to see the outline of Jupiter. So if you're up tonight and still able to look, take a peek.
check it out. Do you
Lord
need a
Byron.
telescope? Need a telescope?
No. It's very if the skies are clear, which right now they are, at least here, you'll be able to see it. Lord Byron wrote a great poem about that once, about the beautiful sky at the time Jupiter was lined up with the moon. Two ball, one strike delivery on the way, and a late swing foul back. Mancini, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Orioles batting here in the fourth inning. Castillo, then Gentry due up. Orioles have got to get a win here in order to give themselves a chance at the series, this 3-game series. He golfs that one. He had to wait on it. Couldn't time it very well, and the foul ball.
Yeah, slow breaking ball there from Odorizzi just to offset the timing. Trey Mancini working well out in front. Yeah, pulling it foul. Yeah, trying to work him hard inside right now.
2-2 delivery by Odorizzi. Mancini, strikeout victim, 0 for 5 in the first 2 games. Asher in the bullpen for the Orioles. Long reliever, sometimes starter. We're trying to figure out how many foul balls have been hit in this ball game, but the trouble is you can't keep up with it.
No. Can't.
Try and regroup in the counting and you miss 4 or 5 more. Dylan Bundy not real happy. 7 pitch at bat.
Well, the Orioles got to find some way to spark this offense here against Odorizzi. Going to be the long ball or string together some hits. One way or another, a little flat right now. It's just the slow pace of the game. Somehow try to turn it around.
Another full count, 3-2 delivery on the way. Mancini will be on top of that one to short. That's Barrera's throw is there in time. And one away in the fourth. Say, would you like to win an Ain't Baseball Great t-shirt? Or other Masson Great Oriole prizes? Follow at Masson Orioles on Instagram to see how to enter. That's at Masson Orioles on Instagram for your chance to win. One down. Castillo a base hit to end an 0 for 12. Came in the second inning in infield variety. Shift on against him. Boston with a win over Toronto 7-1 today. So the Red Sox trying to start the month of July by putting a little distance between themselves and everybody else with that game lead over the Yankees. Yankees play tonight. Foul back over the screen. Apparently the long late game in Chicago didn't affect the Yankees, who had to go on to Houston and got there at something like, I don't know, 5 o'clock in the morning or something. They came out pounding away in the ball game last night and got the win over Houston. Oh, 2 to second. Featherston makes the play, and there are 2 down. Well, in our notebook on this date in baseball history, it was 1902. Rube Waddell faced the minimum 27 batters, striking out 13 in that game, and he became the first American League pitcher to toss what is now known as the immaculate inning, 9 strikes and 3 outs. And at 82, Cal made the move. He went from third to short. Manager Earl Weaver, there was some discussion about that decision. There's not much discussion about it anymore. Mark Belanger had played there with all those gold gloves, taken over by Junior, and for Cal, off and running at short.
It really changed the game, you know, as far as the big man at that position.
As you take a look at the throw to first in time on a fine scoop by Morrison. Echeverria just getting that one over there. And 3 ground ball outs in the inning. We're going to take a look at it. The Orioles holding up play for a moment while their video people decide whether they think there should be a challenge on this.
Oh, nice little pick right there by Morrison.
Yep, and looks like he had it in time. And the decision is there'll be no challenge. 1-2-3 inning here in the 4th.
Highlights game 2, little 3-game homestand for the O's does not start well. Morrison has been mashing this year. His 23rd, a 3-run shot to get the Rays on the board in the 1st. And how about the 4th solo shot out on Utah Street? His 24th homer. And yep, back-to-back home runs. Souza Jr. taking one up into the Rays bullpen. And the Rays bats pounded on Bundy 5-1. With 3 home runs. Geico, 15 minutes could give you or save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Dylan Bundy's line, 4 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 home runs on the board. Made him work 99 pitches. He did have the 7 punch outs though.
Alec Asher is out of the bullpen for the Orioles. Shortest outing of the season for Dylan Bundy. And he'll start it with a pitch away.
Take a look at Asher's line here. This will be his 21st appearance for the O's. He's made 6 starts, a couple wins. Run average with 3.5. Opponent's hitting .256. Not too good with the first batter though. .545.
And a big swing and a miss. Corey Dickerson leading it off. He is 0 for 2. Has popped out, flied out 0 for his last 12. Dylan Bundy ended up 14 out of 19. First pitch strikes thrown. But all kinds of problems with foul balls, full counts, and the long ball. 1-1 delivered to Dickerson, and he'll foul it off the other way.
Bundy's had his problems with Tampa. He had that nice start down at the Trop on the 7 strong innings. He did give up a couple home runs, and coming into this ball game, he had given up 9, a career high against Tampa. 3 more on the board.
12 career home runs hit by Tampa Bay against him, the most of any team. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Corey Dickerson inside out foul. Asher is working against Tampa Bay for the 3rd time this year. He has been hit up for 3 runs, 3 hits over 3 innings, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts against the Rays for Alec Asher. Dickerson 1-2. And got him upstairs.
This fastball worked back over the plate though into the danger zone. Look how far inside Castillo's setting up. And good movement on the 2-seam fastball. Works back over that inner third. Able to get Dickerson on the swing through.
Asher working in Toronto in the middle game up there, went 3 innings. No runs, 1 hit, struck out 3. He had an outstanding performance. Orioles lost that ball game 4-0. He came on for Wade Miley, who had worked only 5 innings of that game, and now he's on for Bundy, who works only 4. 1-0 count. Longoria right through the wickets. He's got a base hit. Boy, Longoria is having himself a series. 2 for 3 in this ball game. That's 4 for 8 in the first 2 games for Longoria. Lock in your Birdland summer and reserve your seats for upcoming promotions, including the infielders bottle stopper set, Jonathan Scope bobblehead presented by Ocean City, Maryland, 25th anniversary Oriole Park replica ballpark, and more. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Next in the bobblehead line.
Yeah, good for him. I like the bottle stoppers.
That's what I'm after. I love those. I think those are great.
Yeah.
Well, as he got 3 home runs in him in the ball game, he will take the pitch down low. Logan Morrison, numbers 23 and 24, 3 RBIs, 1 in the first, 1 in the third. Morrison putting on a show in the first 2 at-bats. 2 multi-homer games this year for him, 6 in his career. And he'll take the pitch down low. Jim Coons, AL League leaders. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons.
You mentioned it, Morrison on that home run leaderboard, but Aaron Judge leading the way with 27. Springer sneaking up. 24. Smoke. We just got done seeing him hit some bombs up in Toronto, and Moose, we're in KC, having a solid year with 22.
Infield moved around at double play depth against Morrison. Runner off first, 1 out. Asher's delivery to him is going to miss up high. His home run out onto Utah Street in 91st. There have been 51 home runs out there hit by an opponent. And the first one Morrison has put on Utah Street. Another marker to go out there in the walkway. 3-0 count. He's got a green light here. He did, and fouls it away.
Power hitters, man, they're dangerous. You fall behind on them and they target a certain spot, and typically pitchers try to stay away from the power. So he's hunting that outer third. He got the pitch. He was aggressive on it, but of course fouls it away, because that's what they do.
That's right, especially today. 29-year-old veteran working on a 3-ball 1-strike count. Runner off first base and walked him. That's the first walk picked up by a Tampa Bay player, and that puts 2 on with 1 down here in the 5th inning. And that will bring Souza Jr. to the plate. Back-to-back home runs with Morrison in the 3rd inning. Game winner last night, 3-run homer, another one in this one.
Yeah, productive the last 3 at bats. Home run, double, another homer.
Had a career high 17 home runs last year with Tampa Bay. in 430 at bats. He will take the pitch inside for a ball. So he's just one shy of his career high. Morrison's already passed his by one.
Not even at the halfway point.
Yeah.
Passing career numbers.
1-0 delivery on the way. Ground ball towards second base. Jonathan Scope. There's one. Tejada over the bag. Not in time. Runner stops at third. Longoria, the lead runner.
Yeah, big guy. He can get down the line, huh?
That was quick.
He didn't smoke it to Jonathan Scope, but Scope got rid of it quickly. Tejada turns it fast. And Souza Jr. beating it out by a half a step.
So it will put a runner at third base with two down. And Ramos will get the opportunity. Longoria, the base runner. And one at first in Souza. Two away. Asher not wanting to give up any more runs to Tampa Bay. Needs this out against Ramos, who struck out twice against Dylan Bundy. Rays 0 for 5 today. Runners in scoring position. 2 for 5 in the ball game last night.
Manager Kevin Cash liking the way his offense hitting the big homers in this ball game. Feeling pretty comfortable right now, but I'm sure aware that the Orioles have that striking ability as well.
0-1 delivery. Ooh, la la. Way back left center field, and goodbye home run. Another shot. This one all the way up to the second level bullpen. And Ramos, who had a home run in the ball game last night for his first of the year, gets another one. This good for an 8-1 lead.
Wow, 3-run shot right there. After a couple punch outs, he finds his swing. Ramos hit one in last night's ball game as well. First 2 home runs of the season. Of course, all year on the disabled list. Take a look at that swing. I think he knows it. It's a little skip.
But the home runs they have hit in this game have been monster shots.
Yeah, coming off hot. 107 miles an hour off the bat.
Here is Peterson, who fouls it off. So a 4 home run day for Tampa Bay. And Ramos, a big one here with 2 down in the 5th inning, bringing home Longoria, and Souza Jr. making that play at first base, with Souza going down to prevent the double play even more important. And Alec Asher can only shake his head out there. That's the guy who wanted to get out. 0-1 count.
We'll say this, the Rays have made some hustle plays. You
Yep.
know, Souza Jr. running down the line there to beat out the double play to extend the inning. How about Peterson hustling out a double? Looked like it was going to be a single. So putting the pressure on the O's defense.
The 0-2 delivery on the way inside. Asher's now given up 9 home runs in 54 innings. Not a good ratio.
No.
Peterson with a 1-ball 2-strike count. Chop that one foul. The number of home runs this season Tampa Bay's had in a ball game for a high is 5. They've got 4. And it's the same number for the most home runs allowed by the Orioles in a ball game, 5. Off-speed delivery is going to miss outside. A 2-ball 2-strike count. Ramos coming back with a real hot bat after all that time on the DL. Back to the mound to Asher. He makes the throw, and that will record the out. But they pick up 3 runs, all on the Ramos swing of the bat, and the Rays go on top 8-1. lesson brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you, and by Navy Federal, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years, federally insured by NCUA. Beautiful day here in Baltimore after the thunderstorms went through the Inner Harbor. A lot of folks will be coming to visit, while a lot of the folks from Baltimore will be headed out. Looks like it's going to be a beach weather weekend, and a good crowd on hand for this one. Waited an hour 12, rain delay to get it started. Tampa Bay immediately got 3 runs, 4 hits first inning, and they've kept on pumping since. 2 more in the third, 3 more in the fifth.
And somehow Odorizzi able to hang on here with his inconsistencies.
A lot of pitches thrown, but the Orioles haven't been able to do much with it. Tejada will stand in. Orioles only 3 hits in the ball game, and 2 of those came in the second inning. Castillo and Gentry an RBI single. Manny Machado got a base hit in the third. That's it. 2 walks are the other base runners. Orioles have left 4, 2 in scoring position. Tampa Bay's left 2. Tejada will take a breaking ball away. He grounded out his first time up. We have 14 3-2 counts so far in this game. It's a lot of pitches, and that one is going to be a strike on the outside corner. Rickert and then Manny Machado due up. The Orioles conclude this short homestand tomorrow. Game 3, 1 o'clock, goes extra. 1:30 the ball game. Kevin Gausman, Alex Cobb, and that's a base hit to kick off the inning. Tejada on with a single. This copyrighted telecast, presented by authority of the Orioles, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. I love that do.
Good. That's a rally haircut right there.
Orioles have the leadoff man on for the first time. Odorizzi's done well keeping them off all year. 74% of leadoff batters retired. Joey Rickert has flied out to center twice, denied a base hit, maybe a double the last time up, when Smith went over towards right, hauled the ball in, sliding along the grass right next to Souza, the right fielder. Tejada off first. 1-0. That's going to the same place. A little easier catch this time. Smith puts it away.
Oh, man. Nice swing there by Joey Rickert. A couple good swings in this ball game taken away by Smith.
1 down. That'll bring Manny up. Odorizzi's just trying to get through 5 innings so he can be the pitcher of record in an 8-1 game.
Actually had the bullpen up a couple innings ago.
Yeah. Little cushion. Off speed breaking ball for a strike. Manny has popped out. Single. At second innings, when the Orioles had a walk and 2 singles to get their lone run in the game. The 0-1 delivery, and Manny got a hold of that one to left field. Peterson. 2 down. Join the Oriole Advocates celebrating 25 years of Oriole Park. It's the 25th anniversary luncheon. It's going to be on Friday, August 18, noon to 2 at the warehouse. Luncheon will celebrate the ballpark that forever changed baseball and honor returning members of the 92 team. Tickets $100. For details 410-247-2703. Right there at the warehouse. Seeing the late afternoon sun. Here's Jonathan Scope. Pitch up high. Scope drew a walk, and he has flied to center field. Been 4 putouts for Smith in center. 3 of those off Joey Rickert. That ball goes the other way down the line in right field, and nobody can get there, and it's foul.
I read an article today about Scott Coolbaugh talking about Jonathan Schoop and his success this year. Big reason is ability of Schoop to lay off that pitch down at the bottom of the zone. So consistently this season, keeping the strike zone elevated, working to his strength, not the pitcher's strength at the bottom of the zone. And we've seen in the past, as a young hitter, a lot of chases with sliders down in the zone, split fingers, changeups. It's all right, 2 strikes, but early on, no sense in getting yourself out on those pitchers' pitches.
Up with a heater that time. One of the results also has been the walks, 18 walks. He had only 21 all of last year in 162 games, so he's almost equaled that in the first half of this year, thus getting a few more pitches to hit. Here's the 1-2 delivery back into the screen.
Really the hardest thing at the major league level, to have discipline within your strike zone, understanding your strengths and eliminating a lot of the chases, especially early, to fall behind in counts on pitchers. And Schoop's been able to do that, targeting his own zone early in a count. He's got 1 or 2 pitches to look for a spot out in front of the plate, a smaller box, and as the strike or as the at bat continues, you open it up a little bit, slowly start to expand, and when you get to 2 strikes, there it is. You know the width of the plate, what you have to deal with, and Jonathan's been very patient in that zone.
Odorizzi trying to get through the inning, probably his last with that pitch count. 2 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way. That's in the dirt. Our 15th full count. Runner goes from first. Ball drilled to center field. Deep. Smith going back. Way back at the wall. Hey, goodbye. Home run. Jonathan Schoop puts 2 up on the board as he delivers the long ball for the Orioles and makes it an 8-3 ball game, number 16. RBIs 50 and 51.
Oh, every night making a case for that all-star game. Team leading in home runs and RBI. Showing the power to straightaway center field.
So Tejada comes in ahead of him, and once again the Orioles pick up runs with 2 away on the Schoop long ball. And get back into it. 8-3 here in the 5th inning. Adam Jones has popped out and struck out. Foul back.
Take a look at Schoop's home run. 3-2 count. Going with the cheese, and it is elevated cheese. He stays on top of it. How about getting through that baseball? Strong lower half, driving that ball out to center field.
500 for Mary Close, our Maryland lottery contestant, waiting for that one and got it. And the Orioles, all 3 of the runs in this ball game have been scored with 2 down. Not unusual for the O's. Adam Jones has popped out and struck out. 1-1 delivery to him. That's lifted in the air to center. This one Smith's got a bead on. So here in the 5th inning, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Jonathan Schoop delivers the long ball, his 3rd against Tampa Bay this year. Is Mackenzie Greenwood. She heard about the little free pantry, so decided to open one on her own in Hampstead, combining with the church and local scouting group. She did just that. They have helped over 100 individuals and families. She's there regularly checking on what's going on donations and the pantry, making sure it's full for those who need help. Congratulations, Mackenzie Greenwood. Nice job.
Wow, big heart, huh?
Yeah.
And a doer.
That's great.
Right? You think about something.
Yeah. Do it.
Put it into action.
And a diving catch made. Rickards at it again. Ball sinking on him in left field.
Look at the eyes. Concentration by Rickard. Playing a great left field here last couple nights.
Echeverria denied a base hit. One away, 6th inning. Making all this look very normal out there.
He is a solid defender. Play everywhere in the outfield. Adam gets a day. Usually slides over to center. Him or Gentry, both very solid.
Featherston up. The second baseman has struck out twice. Taylor Featherston working against Alec Asher. His second inning of work in relief. And bounces that one off the plate. Erasmo Ramirez second time up in the bullpen. Two-0 delivery on the way. Tampa Bay trying to go 3 games above 500 if they can get the win. The Orioles looking to get back to 500. They are 1 game under at the moment, and that is a walk. Number 9 hitter gets on. Second walk by Asher. Orioles baseball on Masson, brought to you by Ocean City. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City. Book now at OCOcean.com. Pretty good weekend to be there by the looks of the forecast. Folks on hand here at the ballpark, 28,346, 28,346 the announced attendance. Smith stands in, a base hit, scored in the first inning. He is struck out and flied out. Runner off first base, drills that one. That's going to go into the corner. Chased down by Gentry. Runner to third. They got a play at second base. Throw skips away. Runner's going to score. So all the way from first base after the walk, Featherston will score. It'll be a double for Smith. The runner will score on a throwing error by Gentry.
Now once again the Rays putting some pressure on the Oriole defense. Smith hustling out of the box. My goodness, down that right field line. Gentry gets to it pretty well. Man, he was thinking 2 right away as he slides in. Tejada taking the throw on the inside of the infield. Got to get out in front there. Put the tag on, and ball hits the runner. Kicks away. Yeah, other run scores.
A 9-3 game. Featherston the walk results in a run. Runner at second base, 1 down. Smith with a double, no RBI. Corey Dickerson 0 for 3, trying to get out of an 0 for 13. And may do it right there. Let's see, into the corner, racing, diving, can't get it. Ball bounces off the wall behind him. Coming in is Smith. It's a double. That'll be an RBI for Dickerson, who ends the 0 for 13 with an RBI 2-bagger.
Wow. 21st double of the season. With all those home runs. Take a look here. Gentry, well, he had a beat on it. That's the diving effort. Of course, Smith going back to tag at third base. And by the time Gentry recovers and gets the baseball, he's crossing home with that speed.
40 RBIs for Dickerson. Asher having no luck here. That's the fifth run to be scored against him. Hart is up again, second time in the bullpen for him. 2 runs in here in the 6th inning, and another game in which the Oriole bullpen is going to be taxed.
Yeah, typically Asher out there to eat up a few innings, save the bullpen. What a rough go right now. Give up that 3-run shot back in the 5th. A Couple runs already on the board here in the 6th. Buck Showalter get the arms loose.
That'll bring Longoria to the plate. Already 2 singles, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. 2 for 3 in the ball game for Longoria. This Tampa Bay team opened up in the 1st inning, and they just haven't stopped. Longoria will take the pitch down low from Asher for a ball. The Rays have on the road won 5 series. They got a chance to guarantee themselves a series here and would be even up on the road at 6-6-2 this year in road series. That's pretty good. First half of the year. 1-0 delivery on the way, and that's outside. The Orioles have lost only 2 series at home. They are 10-2-1. They're going to have to make a major comeback to avoid having a 3rd home series loss. They need the victory here today. Here's the 2-0 delivery. Longoria back to the mound. Asher runner stays. Throw to first and got him by a step. Good reach made by Mancini to haul it in.
Yeah, nice recovery there by Asher.
And that's going to be it. With Morrison coming up, Asher will be coming out of there. Hart coming in. This pitching change brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube stores now do brake services. Stop in and let Jiffy Lube perform a free brake inspection today.
His 26th appearance for the O's. 3.66 earned run average, 17 punch outs in 19 2/3 innings of work. Hart that cross body delivery from the side, holding opponents that 288 average. All right, he's at 283. Lefties up to 294 as well. Of course, Donnie got off to a slow start with the command, fastball command. Had to go back down to the minor leagues. Felt a little bit better. Done a nice job since coming back. 75% of those runners stranded out on the bases. First batter though, 286.
So Alec Asher leaves an inning in 2/3, 4 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. And so far 5 runs scored, responsible for Dickerson with a double on at second base. So a matchup lefty lefty. Morrison against left-handers hitting .235. .256 off righties. It's been all about his power on the year and on the day. He's never had a 3-homer ball game. He's got 2 in this one, 3 RBIs, and he's drawn a walk. Logan Morrison, 2 down, runner at second base. Sweeping sidearm delivery will miss outside for a ball. One 0 count with 2 down. Hart's 1-0 pitch to him, and did he go? Yep. David Rackley down at third.
And sweeping slider there, and you got to believe that Morrison thinking, all right, that first pitch ball, he's going to try to get into the strike zone, so pulling the trigger a little bit early on that slider. Well off the plate.
10 runs on 11 hits for Tampa Bay. Orioles 3 runs on 5. Hart with the 1-1 delivery on the way, and that's going to be inside. So the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike on Logan Morrison, having himself a career year, particularly in the home run department.
And the problem with all those hits, most of them extra base hits, either doubles or home runs. Very productive.
Dickerson the lead off second base, 2-1. Morrison reaching, no chance. Needed the fly rod on that one, and the count goes to 2-2.
Yeah, I don't really know how there's ever a chance off Donnie Hart. That cross body stepping towards the Oriole dugout. There was a slider that, basically the ball's coming from behind Morrison. How do you ever get a good look?
Very hard to stay in. Two balls and 2 strikes. Try to catch the inside corner. Our 16th full count. Runner at second, 2 down. Rays 2 for 9, runners in scoring position. This is their 10th chance. 3-2 delivery on the way, and walked it. So Hart brought in to get the left-hander, did not. Morrison gets his second walk, so 4 times up and 4 times on. 2 home runs, 2 walks.
Buck Showalter even showing frustration in there. Donnie in for the lefty-lefty matchup, and then you got another slugger. Yeah, Souza Jr. is having himself a real good series. A couple home runs already.
He's hitting .256 against left-handers. He has the oddity of all 16 home runs have come against right-handers.
Oh my.
There are 2 away, 2 on. And the pitch will catch the outside corner for a strike. Oh, 1 delivery. That'll be way inside.
Donnie Hart's definitely got to get that fastball in on the righties. That's a key for him right there. This little jackknife piece. Open up that outside corner. You see the leads here. Of course, Morrison, the trail guy. Mancini isn't holding him on, so he's getting as much as he can. Infield's got to be aware of that. A ground ball. Understand might be able to beat it at second base.
Just trying to find the keys to get the out to end this inning. Two ball, 1 strike count with 2 down. Last batter to have his first 15 home runs of a year against right-handers was Matt Holliday in 2013. 2-1 delivery on the way and a ground ball towards the hole. Todd has got it. He'll go to first for the out, and he will get it. But another couple of runs score in this inning on 2 doubles and a walk. 10-3.
Are they going to be on the KISS camera?
They will be on the KISS cam. They can't wait for the opportunity, actually. So there you go. Gary Thorne, Mike Bordick with you. Another tough ride. The Orioles always hoping. Bundy's been the stopper when they've needed a starter to come in, hold the fort, give them a chance to win, all that stuff. Not today.
No, not today. The Rays offense, man, they've given him some problems in the past, and it carried over into this game. And you weren't really expecting that, especially after last weekend when he was dominant, really, against the Rays offense, going 7 strong innings. But early on, didn't have the fastball command, and they really made him pay in that first inning. He kept battling his way through, but this Rays offense is legit. You know, speed at the top. Talked yesterday about the ability to draw walks, hit home runs. You know, yeah, they strike out a lot.
It's a different ball club than they were on KISS cam right there. Okay. Yes.
Hey,
yes.
Easy guy.
It's a good Saturday here at the ballpark.
Man, oh man.
I love it. We always just talk about, whenever we talked about Tampa Bay, it was always about starting pitching, but you can't do that anymore. Yes, they do have some good starting pitching, probably second half, but boy, this offense is something to be contended with.
Yeah, well, the whole team really is something to be contended with. Yeah, their offense is really what's separating them right now. They haven't got the best starting pitching, and their bullpen's been unstable. And their hope is the second half, the rotation stabilizes a little bit, and they're getting healthy in the bullpen. So that too. So this team is going to be tough in the second half.
Keep this offense going. Here's Rosmel Ramirez on for Odorizzi.
Yeah, take a look at his numbers on the year. That .492 earned run average. Does have 4 wins out of the bullpen.
And his first delivery will be a slider swung on and missed, down and away on that one. So Ramirez against Mark Trumbo. Trumbo, a walk, scored, and he has struck out. He'll put that one foul.
Take a look at Jake Odorizzi's line. 5 innings, scattering the 5 hits. He didn't have the best command either. A lot of foul balls in this game, a lot of full counts. Pitch count 111 pitches thrown, only 3 punch outs, only 2 walks.
Chance for his 5th win, and the pitch taken away by Mark Trumbo. So this ball game turned over to the bullpens, with each starter having trouble going very deep into the game. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Defense, outfield shaded to right on Trumbo. As for the timeout. Way up in the air, first base. And that had some hang time. Morrison comes in to get it. 1 away. MLB TV every night, every device. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout, other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Big swing and a miss. Mancini 0 for 2, 0 for 6. In the first 2 games. The 0-1 delivery on the way. Same pitch and a nasty one.
Yeah, nice
great
little slider. Yeah, he's got a good slider, fastball working the low 90s. The changeup, probably his best secondary pitch. Those versatile pitchers as well. He'll spot start for this team. Long relief primarily right now.
He's had 1 game against the Orioles this year out of the pen. Worked for 4 innings in that. Gave up no runs on 2 hits. 1-2 delivery. Final line on Alec Asher. He worked an inning and 2/3, 5 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. Asher had given up only 6 earned runs in 24 innings out of the bullpen this year, but 5 in an inning and 2/3 today. That's going towards the hole. That's where Rodriguez throws over there, and it's in time.
Nice little backhand play there. Some tough chances.
2 down here in the 6th inning. Castillo coming up with a single. He is grounded out. They put the shift on in the infield against Wellington. Ramirez delivery to him is on the inside corner for a strike. There you see the shift.
Yeah, they played the shift on him early in the count. When he gets to 2 strikes, they slide that second baseman back over.
Castillo's gone 1 for 2, and there you see the change. Featherston, the second baseman, back over on his side of the bag. 0-2, 2 down. And got him to chase one away. So Ramirez gets a strikeout. He retires the side end order. 6 complete. Tampa Bay looking to take 2 in a row against the O's. June 1, Washington led the East. They are still on top. Washington lost only a game of that lead in the month of July. In the Central, it was Milwaukee. Milwaukee's still on top. They lead by 2. They actually picked up a half a game in the month of June. In the West, that's where the change was made, as Arizona, Colorado were out there in a tie in the West. The Dodgers have taken a 3.5 game lead now over Arizona. So the wild card teams are now Arizona and Colorado. So not a lot of shift, but in the West, the Dodgers made the big move in the National League in June.
And you talked about all those home runs they had hit out there. That's a big reason why they've been rolling through that month.
So the month of June over and July underway for the ball clubs, who are at or have passed the halfway mark. Donnie Hart stays on. Pitch will be taken up high. Wilson Ramos, the catcher, couple of strikeouts, then the big blast, a 3-run homer in the 5th inning off Alec Asher to extend that lead. Lots of contributions in this lineup. Offensively, about everybody's been involved. Left-hander's delivery on the way, and that'll be inside. Ramos only a couple of at-bats against left-handers so far. Remember, it's just his 5th game back, coming off the DL, but he's come back with a punch here in this series. And he has picked up 5 RBIs in the first 2 games, 2 home runs. 2-0 delivery to him. Punch back into the seats for Souvenir.
Yeah, with Ramos healthy, talk about another weapon in your lineup. Man, stronger and stronger, right?
Yep. And nobody knew with the amount of time he'd lost to the DL how he'd come back. I mean, that's, and you don't know in the long run what it'll look like, but it certainly has been imposing here in the first few games. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Ground ball to short. Tejada the spin and the out.
Nice little play right there by Tejada. Range up the middle. Take a look at the play right here. He stays down on the ball. Nice little spin move. Gets back up to the feet. A strong throw across the diamond. Beautiful play. How about recreating some rhythm to get back to the target? Get that balance underneath him.
J.J. Hardy out, of course, at short with the injuries. Watching here in this series. And the pitch taken for a strike in the inside corner. The wrist that's wrapped up.
Yeah, so he got a broken wrist, got hit by a pitch, but how about finding out that he's got a cracked rib as well
to go along with it?
Yeah, that actually happened, I think, on Yankee Stadium. Mancini came sliding in. He went over the top, and when he landed, a hairline fracture in the rib cage.
Didn't even know it.
Right.
Shane Peterson a double. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game. 0-2 count from Hart. Wanted to go, held off. And a 1-ball 2-strike count. Echeverria waiting on deck. Showalter going to maneuver his way through this ball game with a bullpen on who, if anyone else, he will use. 1-2 delivery. That ball in the air towards left. Rickard. Joey's got that one. 2 down.
Nice to get a couple quick outs here.
Game 3. Quick homestand, quick series tomorrow. 1 o'clock for O's Extra. 1:30 for the ball game on Masson. Kevin Gausman 4 and 7. Alex Cobb 6 and 5 are the scheduled starters. And the Orioles head out on the road with Milwaukee and 3 there, and Minnesota for 4 to the All-Star break. 2 down. Ground ball towards second base this time. Scope over to get it. And a 1-2-3 inning recorded by Donnie Hart. 7th inning stretch time, and the Hyundai Better Than Ever sales event with the best total savings on select models in Hyundai's history is going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Tampa Bay with a big lead, 10-3. David Price's time in Boston has been defined more by controversy and disappointment than success. That troubling trend apparently continued on the team's flight from Boston to Toronto late Thursday, where it is reported Price engaged in a heated exchange with Hall of Fame pitcher and current Red Sox television analyst Dennis Eckersley. According to the Boston Globe, the incident was confirmed Friday by team sources. It's also noted that members of the team's brass were disturbed by the incident as it continues a trend of unacceptable behavior by Price. Some have speculated the incident stems from Eckersley calling out Price for forgetting to cover first base on a play during Thursday's game against Minnesota, which Price won by throwing 7 innings of 3-run ball. It has not been a pleasant time for David Price in Boston.
No, it really hasn't. He's had some injuries this year, obviously some inconsistencies, times when he didn't get run support, but yeah, he's taking some lumps up there, and you get on the bad side of that media market and they're going to be relentless on you.
Interesting to see if that pans out to anything of a time maybe dwindling down for him in Boston, or if it just passes by as an incident forgotten.
Yeah, I don't know.
I agree.
He shut the media off, so he's already stirred up some controversy himself.
And the front office is not denying the incidents or their concern. So there's obviously something going on there within the organization too. So we'll see. Little ground ball where nobody was playing. Pitcher to cover. Throw. Got there in time, and was he stepped on? Ramirez getting over there to cover the bag. May have taken a little spike or twisted an ankle on that ground ball. Gentry flying down the line. Play by Morrison.
Yeah, Morrison the only fielder on that right side of the infield, so got to vacate. It was a long ways away. A tough little touch throw there to Ramirez. See Ramirez's foot catch that back corner of the base and then slide off, landing awkwardly, and lucky he didn't get stepped on there. It's pretty close. Look at his foot get on that backside, then that slide, and as he's sliding into the runner, that's what he says, oh geez, better get it back quick.
So they get the out on a good play. One down. Here's Ruben Tejada. Orioles batting, bottom of the 7th inning. Tejada's single grounded out. Shift on in the infield against him. Ramirez delivers, and the other way for a base hit. So 2 for 3 for Tejada.
Couple nice swings. Nice job staying over the baseball and inside it. He's had some tough luck here in that Toronto series. He hit a bomb out to right center. That was a play Pilar drove his face and whole body into that right center field wall, but full speed.
Well, the Oriole runs in the game, an RBI single by Gentry and the 2-run homer by Scope. Those are the Orioles' 3 runs. They now have 6 hits in the game. Joey Rickard takes the pitch for a strike. Rickard 0 for 3s. Everything's gone to center. Smith has made all 3 putouts. The one in the 3rd inning. Fine sliding catch denying him a base hit. Fouls that off the other way. And a 2-strike count on Rickard. Manny Machado waiting on deck. Not a big lead at first base for Tejada. 10-3 ball game, not going anywhere. Fouled off the opposing dugout. Count will stay at 2 strikes. Ramirez with the 0-2 still. And Rickard will take it outside. Ramirez made his first relief appearance just this past Wednesday against Pittsburgh. First one he'd made since May 28. Got a couple of ground ball outs in that one. So he's added some strength, depth to that bullpen. That one's going to be to the middle. Nice play. Able to turn the double play as he took the bag himself on that one. And the Orioles are retired. Shortstop Rivera goes 1 and then an off balance throw. Gausman and Alex Cobb on the mound. Our coverage on Massa 1 o'clock goes extra, presented by Southwest. Our game at 1:30. All the access you need right here on Massa.
Here they are. Take a look at the numbers here. 3.73 for Alex Cobb. The nasty changeup. And Kevin Gausman looking for his 5th win and trying to get that earned run average from below 6.
Hart has worked 2 1/3 his longest outing this season for the Orioles. Pitch will be taken away. Featherston drew a walk in the 6th inning, would score. He scored on an error, but it ended up being an earned run because they put up some more hits in that inning, so he would have scored anyway. 1-0 count. Featherston will take the pitch. Did he go? Yep. Alfonso Marquez down at first base. Bundy gave up 5 runs, 7 hits, and 4. Alec Asher 5 runs, 4 hits, an inning and 2/3. Hart has walked a batter but not given up a hit. Pitch taken inside. Top of the order, Smith and Dickerson will be due up here in the 8th inning. Left-hander's 2-1 delivery on the way. Manny Machado will make the running throw and get the out. Featherston can go down the line pretty quick too.
Oh yeah, that's some good speed. Every guy busting it out of the box. Put a little pressure on this Oriole defense. Nice slow roller play by Manny Machado. Of course, he can make up for some speed with that cannon of an arm.
1 down in the 8th inning. Top of the order. Malik Smith has a single double, 2 for 4, 2 runs scored. Good ball game for him. He has struck out, flied to right. And those other 2 at bats. 1 down and a wave at a pitch tailing away at 77.
Slow sweeper there. Looks like the change break a ball.
Here's the 0-1 delivery. A little more on that, fouled off at the plate. With a run scored today on the season now, Tampa Bay has outscored the Orioles 48-39, and they have out-homered the Orioles by a 14-12 margin. Teams came in with almost identical ERAs in the season series, 4.71. 0-2 delivery, and fouls that one off. Castillo pulling that hand back, making sure he didn't either get hit by the ball or the bat.
Foul ball might have caught him on the foot.
And plate umpire will give him a breather.
Catching about 200 pitches today. Taking a beat back there, working hard. And take a look at the Donnie Hart slider. Oh, right off the toe.
Ow. And the 0-2 coming. Hart gets it in, jammed him. 2 down.
Beauty right there. Well executed. 3 sliders. How about dotting up a fastball? Steele wanted inside. You execute. Good things are going to happen. Nice pitch there from Hart. Lion.
Trevor Plouffe is going to pinch hit for Corey Dickerson. Dickerson got out of his 0 for 13 with a double and an RBI in the 6th inning. So he'll catch a breather here at the end of the ball game. And Plouffe will take over as the designated hitter, which is where Dickerson was today. With the Rays so far, 4 for 19, a home run and an RBI. Rays picking him up after he was designated for assignment in the middle of June. Rays paid cash to pick him up from Minnesota.
That's part of the Rays philosophy. You know, getting guys that are let go, try to catch them with a little chip on their shoulder, and fight their way back and get them back, and then trade them for something more valuable.
Yep.
You know.
Plouffe had an 0 for 3 in the start last night. Johnny Hart's delivery's taken down low. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Tampa Bay, pretty dominating performance so far in this game. Pitching and hitting. 2-1 delivery to short. And that's going to be a base hit underneath the glove of Tejada. So Plouffe is on with a pinch hit single with 2 down in the 8th inning.
Tejada trying to make that play he made earlier. Slide on the knee, spin around and throw, but the ball scoots by him. Hit a little bit harder, a pace, before he can get low enough.
So that'll be hit number 12 for the Rays, and we'll give Longoria another chance. Longoria's had a couple of hits, 2 runs scored, an RBI, 2 for 4. 2 games so far. He's gone 4 for 9. And Hart's delivery will catch the inside corner for a strike. Chris Davis and Hardy both on the DL.
In disguise.
In disguise.
The Fu Manchu working.
Longoria just 187 off left-handers this year. Down to third, fouled it off. Hart got it in, and an 0-2 count.
Does everybody struggle with lefties nowadays?
I don't know. It's a strange phenomenon. Really good hitters who have had real good numbers against left-handers. A lot of them don't anymore.
Yeah, a lot of the good lefties have good velocity, kind of cut action in on the hands that hitters try to get on, and then they'll go soft away, turn it over a little bit.
Longoria was .250 against left-handers last year. That beautiful sunset time off the warehouse. One and two down, and went up and got him. So Hart gets a couple of strikeouts, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. I think a lot of folks will be heading across Key Bridge. Got to believe it's going to be a shore type 4th of July. The weather certainly looks to be cooperating for some beach time. Here at the ballpark, the Orioles need a monster comeback in this one. Ramirez working out of the bullpen into his 3rd inning. He has given up just 1 single in the first 2 pitched. Manny Machado 1 for 3, a base hit. Ramirez delivers to him, and he will foul that one back.
Good with that cut fastball on that outside corner.
Machado 6 for 24 off Ramirez with a home run. Outside inside and a 2-strike count.
Scott Coolbaugh having a little skull session there with Trey Mancini. Mancini a slow night at the plate. 0 for going.
0-2 delivery on the way. Echeverria makes the throw. And he is retired. Here comes Jonathan, our Lexus of Towson drive of the game.
Oh yeah, Jonathan Scope getting into the high fastball. 3-2 count. Blasted one straight away center field. Team leading 16th home run.
Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer for 7 straight years. Come see why at LexusofTowson.com. A walk and a fly ball out along with a home run. Shift infield. Pitch outside to Jonathan Scope. Scope's looking to get something started here. He's 2 for 17 off Ramirez. There's the shift. 1-0 pitch on the way, and he goes the other way, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. So another multi-hit game. And a 1-out single here in the 8th.
Reaching out, getting that little slider off the end of the bat, but finding some grass. A 2-hit ball game. Take a look here. Nice location, but a better job by Jonathan Scope. Getting him some right there. The length helping Jonathan out. He reaches out there. He pulls the hands in, but there's that extension. He'll stay on that slider. Looking good.
His 25th multi-hit game. Just out of the top 10 now in multi-hit games. Adam Jones 0 for 3. That's going to go the other way, and he's got a base hit. So the Orioles taking it where they ain't. Stopping at second base is Scope, and the runners first and second. 1 down, 8th inning.
No sense pushing it here. Station to station for a while. Take a look at Adam Jones swing. Big hole over there. Oh my, almost get Jonathan Scope. Got to wait on it to get by.
So 2 on, 1 away, and the mighty bat of Trumbo. He has walked, scored, struck out, and grounded out. Orioles 1 for 4. Runners in scoring position today. Eight hits on the board for the Orioles. But again, singles. The home run by Scope, the only extra base hit. Whoa, look what I found.
Oh, wow.
Ramos with a big pick.
Huh. Wow. Take a look at this pick. A spike slider here. Over in the left-handed batter's box. Look like Machado over there.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way.
You don't see that too often. The hitter slamming the bat down in the count still. Not a strikeout pitch. He just fouls a pitch off. A pitch that he thought he should have crushed. Healthy cut. Should have had that one.
1 and 2. Trumbo's gone 1 for 18 off Ramirez. Runners off first and second, and the 1-2 delivery on the way. Another souvenir. Count will stay at 1 and 2 on Mark.
Not that percentage. 23 strikes, just 7 balls. On in the zone, working that outside corner pretty consistently.
Get a big lead. Go get them. 1-2 delivery on the way and inside that time. And it jackknifes away as he started to lean out over the plate. Evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Trumbo. Mark for the month of June, 229, 4 home runs. 2-2 delivery to him, reaching. He won't slam the bat on that one. He's just happy he touched it away.
Yeah, he might have slammed it if he would have missed it. But, fighting off the tough slider, well off that outside corner.
And the 2-2 again. Not hit hard. Play's going to be at first. And they'll get the out. That'll move Scope over to third base. Jones goes down to second. Trumbo retired. It's a Varia with a slow roller at short. And there are 2 down. And Trey Mancini, flyer in the bullpen. Blyer worked 2/3 of an inning in the ball game last night. Trey Mancini 2 down. Base hit here. Put a couple more on the board for the O's. Fastball away.
Take a look at the rookies. Leaders with the average with runners in scoring position. Trey Mancini 422 back in 07. Loney on that list. Suzuki, Urbeck. How about Mike Hargrove there as well? Rookies to lead the league. Runners in scoring position. A couple of those guys being rookies of the year. Mike Hargrove was the rookie of the year that year. And how about Ichiro's year? Rookie of the year and MVP.
Yeah.
And pretty impressive. Mancini, I'll tell you, he's opening up some eyes right now. I know Judge is having a monster year, but Mancini doing some damage.
Yeah, it'll be a matter of consistency through the second half now for the rookies to see who can carry it on for the extended period. Huh?
And that is the true test of a major league season.
Yeah.
Can you withstand 162 games? Can you keep the strength and the swing path?
Ramirez able to come in and get him, gets his second strikeout, and the Orioles no runs, 2 hits, no errors. 2 are left on. We go to the 9th. The Rays on top. Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. So a 10-3 ball game going to the 9th inning, but Showalter's going to make a number of changes here. One of them being on the mound.
Yeah, take a look at Blyer's numbers. Pretty good. 1.82 earned run average. Pitched 2/3 scoreless in yesterday's ball game. So the opponent's hitting .258 overall, giving up a couple home runs and loves to get the ground ball. 67% on the ground. First batter, very good. 188.
Good job by Donnie Hart. Kim has come on to play in left field where Rickert was. Gentry is on for Jones in center, and Rickert goes from left to right. Caleb Joseph, who had been working out in Toronto at third base, is actually going to get an inning there. So he comes on for Manny Machado. Paul Janisch will take Ruben Tejada's place. Tejada goes to second for Scope. Mancini still over at first base with Castillo catching. So Kim, Gentry, Rickert in the outfield. Joseph, Janisch, Tejada, Mancini on the infield.
It'd be fun to watch Caleb Joseph. It was fun watching him in Toronto. Looked real good. Good actions.
Blyer on for Hart. Logan Morrison, 2-homer day, never has had 3. He's been on all 4 times, 2 home runs, 2 walks. He's picked up 3 RBIs, 2-run homer in the first inning, solo shot in the third. Orioles put the big shift on against him with Tejada way out in right field. 1-0 pitch. That will be in there for a strike from Blyer. Hart gave up only 1 hit, 2 1/3. Caleb moves over now.
Bobby Dickerson calling out Omaha. Big shift. Janisch sliding back over to the left side. Caleb Joseph over on the second base side.
Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way, and right to him. Come on, Caleb. Got him. And this is not a. This is for real. I mean, the Buck Showalter told Caleb, I want you available to play third and first, because we almost ended up in a situation in a game a week ago where I didn't have enough people, and we can't have that happen again. And he did it because Caleb can play there. He's played there before coming up the ranks, and he's a pretty good fielder.
No, absolutely. Yeah, he's got some skills. He's athletic, you know, and I watched him in the minor leagues actually take ground balls in the infield. He used to give me a hard time, you know, saying, hey, give me a shot, utility infielder. I could do it, anything to make it to the big leagues.
Yeah.
And he makes it as a catcher. And, you know, getting in Buck Showalter's ear, hey, if you need me, I can play anywhere. Buck Showalter took him at his word, put him out there in Toronto, get some ground ball work. It's always beneficial to show how versatile you are. He's not just a catcher, he's a baseball player. Put him anywhere and he'll get it done.
How different it must look for a catcher to go out and play looking back in at the game.
You're right.
Can you imagine for you, like if you were an infielder and you went behind the plate?
Yeah.
It would just look so.
I know.
It's got to look so different.
It was hard enough just going from one side of the infield to the other.
Yeah.
You know, just that perspective. But yeah, flipping it completely around. Catcher to infield position.
Ball in the air to left field. Kim coming, and it'll fall in for a base hit. So Souza's on with a single, his 3rd hit. He has picked up a double, a homer, and a single in the ball game. He's had a big part of the offense in the last 2 games. So Souza on, hit number 13. And Wilson Ramos, the catcher, his home run, 5th inning, a 3-run shot. Dylan Bundy gave up 3 home runs, 1 hit off Asher. One down and 1 on here in the top of the 9th inning.
We talked about Blyer's ground ball percentage. Good opportunity here for Caleb Joseph to start a double play.
Which will be away for a ball. Asher, Hart, and Blyer out of the bullpen for the Orioles today. 1-0 delivery. There it is. Nope, under the glove, base hit. So Ramos is on with another hit. A homer and a single. Down to second base goes Souza. Hit number 14.
Caleb getting the feet going. Nice effort right there. Maybe if he had taken just a hair deeper angle, they had a shot. Direct across. Good to see him get his feet going like an infielder.
2 on, 1 out. That'll bring up Peterson. Double, 1 for 4. Nope, Borges is going to be the hitter. So Borges gets his first at bat. And he'll ground it towards short. Yanish, 1, turn, Tejada not in time. Up and down this lineup, you see the speed of this team just on plays like that. How many have they beaten out at first?
Oh yeah, well, it wasn't too long ago when Borges was a healthy young player. He's one of the faster guys in the game. Still good speed down that first base line.
So they'll cover the corners here in the 9th inning with 2 down. Echeverria gets another opportunity. 0 for 4 in this game after going 4 for 4 last night. And the pitch will be taken inside. 10 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the Rays. 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Orioles. All the runs in the ballgame are earned. Ground ball to short. Yanish force at second. Tejada there, and that'll do it. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 2 are left on base. Orioles coming up, bottom of the 9th inning, trailing 10-3. Ball game individually at least on the mound.
Yeah, you got Adam Kolarek into the ball game, just called up to the big leagues. 8 years in the minors from Catonsville, went to Catonsville High School, Maryland, University of Maryland pitcher, and finally finds his way to the big leagues. He's pitched in 1 game up in the Pittsburgh series a few days ago. 1 1/3 innings of shutout baseball, nothing on the board. Now you see that arm angle, something he developed over the last couple of years. Get a little bit more sink on the baseball from the side, a little tougher, and unbelievable numbers in AAA. How about the 77% ground ball rate with that sidearm delivery? So pretty impressive. Had an earned run average of 136, certainly earning the call up. Yeah, now a big leaguer. Congratulations to Adam Kolarek.
Had a chance to talk with him on Friday night. Was really excited. A lot of family on hand here to watch him play. Still has a place not far from this ballpark.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he, longtime Oriole fan, was really excited about the opportunity to get back. So he comes on. Ramirez worked 3 innings, gave up 3 hits, struck out 3. Great relief job. And the Orioles here in the 9th. Wellington Castillo, he's had a base hit, 1 for 3. On the mark on this one, Odorizzi looking to pick up his 5th win, barring a major comeback. He's going to be 5-3. And the loser will be Dylan Bundy. Bundy will drop to 8-7. Again, if the lead holds up. Pitch is going to miss. And the count goes to 3-0 on Castillo.
Getting that low strike with the sinker. And any help here late in the ball game.
Kolarek's 3-0 delivery on the way and walked him on 4 straight.
Can't imagine there's a lot of nerves, right?
A lot of butterflies going out there.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely not overpowering, 86 to 80 or 90 with the fastball. Occasionally it might hump up there a little bit over 90 with the four-seamer, but his intent is to get ground balls, pitch to contact generally. Every now and then he'll flip in a slow curve.
And the pitch will be there for a strike. Gentry's had a base hit and an RBI back in the second inning. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game. And that's a strike. Clark actually was picked up by the Orioles. He was signed minor league deal in 2015, and then the Rays picked him up in the minor league Rule 5 draft in 2015. Had a deal with the Atlanta Braves for a while, and now back. But as Mike said, never had an opportunity at the major league level until this year. That'll be fouled off. And a 2-strike count.
Yeah, went to spring training with the Atlanta Braves. They didn't give him really much of an opportunity and actually let him go.
Yeah.
He was heading home. He was in the car driving back to Maryland and got a call from the Rays.
Yep. Great story. Pitch taken and didn't go. Played 3 years, University of Maryland. So familiar sights and folks for this appearance here in Baltimore in his hometown. Ground ball to short. 1. No, none. That's just sloppy play, 10-3 or otherwise.
And then stop playing. And go back and get the baseball. Hechavarria probably should have taken this one himself, taking him to the base. Featherston just standing there. How about Plank with the bare hand, and then just watches the ball hit the ground, and no runner in sight. Oh, there he is. Made a nice double play by himself earlier in the ball game. Featherston not expecting that one. Caught in between.
Yep.
Orioles catch a little break.
Error will be charged on Featherston, the second baseman. That's a tough one on him. He was waiting for the play to be made without his involvement. So 2 on, nobody out. Here is Tejada. 2 singles, 2 for 3. Pitch will be taken inside for a ball.
Todd, a couple nice swings, staying inside the baseball, picking up his singles to right field.
One-0 delivery on the way. That's there for a strike. Clark said in his time with the Orioles, said, I never even got any stuff. He never got to put on the uniform, never got a hat, never got anything. He got one picture with his dad at the minor league camp, and said that's my father's favorite picture. But it's all we got from the time I was with the Orioles. His dad played in the Oakland organization 4 seasons in the 70s. 2 ball, 1 strike count. That's going to miss outside. A 3 ball, 1 strike count on Tejada. Rickard waiting on deck. Boston winning their game today over Toronto. Score 7-1. As we said, the Yankees are playing tonight. They're underway. No score in Houston. Games that will affect the standings in the American League East. Hey, it's a full count.
And another foul ball. Full counts of foul balls.
It's the old love and marriage song. They go together like a horse and carriage. 17, 3-2 counts in the ball game. Runners off first and second base.
Not a good at bat right now. You certainly don't want to give any away. Ought to not. Fouling off some tough pitches away.
Somebody's got to play shortstop while J.J. Hardy's out. And there's a little battle for it with Giannis and Tejada.
Yeah, sure.
So it all matters. 3-ball, 2-strike count again. Larry got it in there. Right field. Souza was very shallow, right where he needed to be. Hardly had to move. So Tejada's retired, one away here in the ninth.
Saw a lot of pitches, made him work. Pretty good at bat right there.
Joey Rickert, 3 fly balls to center and a ground ball double play. Orioles with a loss here will have suffered their 3rd loss in a series at home. They'll be 10-3-1 in series at home. And their home record with a loss here today would drop to 24-16. Still good. Tampa Bay trying to get to 500 on the road. They'll be 19-22 in away games. 1-0 delivery, ground ball to second base. 1, 2. That's the ball game. Here in the bottom of the 9th inning, no runs, no hits, an error, 1 base runner left on. Tampa Bay comes away with a ball game that they got to in the 1st inning and never looked back. And they win.